Alright, welcome back to No Less Shelves. I'm Michelle.
I'm Rachel.
And so this bonus week we decided to do the Madison Kate series by Tate James. It's a reread for both of us. And we're just we don't really have any book news, and since we covered 4 books, we just are going fucking straight into it.
Yeah. We bit off a little bit more than we could chew.
Yes.
Considering last book is like 500 some pages.
Yes, that was a little rough to kind of go back through. I read them back in February of this year. When did you first read them?
Like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I needed a refresher.
You needed a refresher, 100%. Alright, well, fuck, let's just get into this.
Let's get with the first book.
Okay.
Which is Hate. And these are all by Tate James, so I'm not going to repeat the author every single time.
Oh, come on. Gotta give her some love here. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so there is a lot that goes on with this. Hate is more of just kind of like an introductory book, I feel like.
Yes.
Just kind of get the story straight, the characters kind of in line of everything.
Do we want to go over the 2 main girl characters, since they're in the first couple chapters?
Yeah, that would probably
before
be
we
really
get introduced to the guys.
Yes. Okay, kind of to start off, this series is a romance. It's a reverse harem and enemies to lovers.
Yes.
Anything else I'm missing from just the straight, genre base?
No.
No. Okay.
But they have fucking intense cliffhangers.
Oh, yes. Pet peeve of mine, but it was fine since they're all out. I just
buckle up.
Yes. Just be prepared. When you start, you're gonna just read the entire series in a week, or we did it in a week. So
well, the first time I read these, I read the last 3 in like 3 days.
Yes. It's a very I need to know what happened. I need to know. Okay. So the first 2 main characters we're going to talk about, obviously the main character, who is MK.
Madison Kate,
Hellcat, which is my favorite.
That's my name.
I know you said previously in Violence is one of your favorites. And
I like a good nickname.
Oh yes, I love it. I love a good pet name. So yes, Hellcat was one of my favorites. I was like, yes. So
Princess.
Yeah, we got Princess Danvers, which is Madison Kate Danvers, but she kind of goes by MK if you're friends with her. There's some other nicknames thrown in there, but she hates them, like Maddie or Mads. No. Anyways.
Best one is Hellcat.
Yes, best one's Hellcat, and I'm just like, oh, makes my heart happy. Anyways, so the second main character is Bree, or Breezy. I actually don't know her actual official name, so I said one. Brianna. Thank you. I knew she'd come in clutch here. She's only ever known as Bree, or as her kind of love interest calls her Breezy.
Yes.
I think it's really cute.
And she's Madison Kate's best friend.
Yes.
This opens up with them going to a fight on Riot Night at the Laughing Clown, which is a rundown carnival.
Yeah, it's abandoned amusement park or carnival or whatever. Yes. It's one of the 2, so it takes place in Shadow Grove community, and then Laughing Clown, and then there's some others sub places, but I felt like those were the main 2.
So those places, a lot of the bars that are mentioned are Timber, Club 22, Anarchy. I don't think Anarchy gets mentioned until the last book.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And what is the other one? They are all part of the Hades series. So
okay, I didn't know that.
So you get another group of people with Hades being the main.
Yeah, it's kind of tied into Is this before her Hades series?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So we'll kind of go into that because we're not going to skip to the next. We're not going to skip to the 4th book. Okay, so the first book, we have the main character Madison Kate. MK, because that's shorter, and that's gonna be, we're gonna say her name a lot.
And I hate when they go Madison Kate. Just shorten it.
Yeah.
Just shorten it.
It's
it's too much.
Yeah, it would be a lot if we just kept saying Madison Kate. So we're just gonna do MK. That's what we're going for. I can't do anything else. So it kind of leads to they're at a fight, and it's
Halloween.
And I want to say
she's there to see a new fighter.
Yeah, but I don't know.
The Archer.
The Archer. But I don't know if is it like a UFC?
I think it's a UFC because
Yeah.
he's UFC throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
The Archer comes back.
I'm not well versed in fighting. I mean,
I'm not either.
I know there's like underground fighting and cage fighting that's not really sanctioned, but he does have a career as a fighter in some capacity as a, I think I wrote it down. Let's see here, MMA fighter / I don't know what the
UFC,
difference.
yeah, mixed martial arts.
Okay, thank you. It was some kind of fighter.
I've seen a UFC fight a couple of times. Okay. Not really interested in it, but
yeah, I mean, if the right person's there, maybe. So yeah, that's kind of how it opens up, and she and her friend are from like the rich community of the Shadow Grove, so they're kind of, that's why the princess name kind of comes into place a lot, and Breezy is kind of the same. Her parents are rich,
yeah, and
they live in a huge mansions and whatnot. So
all of them live in huge mansions.
Yeah, I mean, anyways, so it's kind of opens with that, and
then shit goes down.
Yeah, shit goes down. There's a shot, and everyone scatters, of course, shots fired, everyone's like, bye! So Bree and MK are trying to get back to the car.
Yes.
And they kind of get separated from a gang member named Zan.
Yes.
And Zan is trying to kill MK. You don't know why yet.
I don't think he necessarily was trying to kill her at this point. I think he was just trying to take advantage of the situation.
Yes, which he is very, very much of an opportunist. If something's happening and I can monopolize on it, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So Madison, Kate, and Bree get split up. Bree goes back to the car. Madison, Kate tells Bree to go back to the car and wait on her, and she'll be... Yeah. And she runs into a freaking fun house. House of Mirrors.
House of Mirrors, it always has to have some kind of suspense.
With somebody that has claustrophobia, a House of Mirrors is the worst thing of all time.
Yes.
I hate House of Mirrors.
Yes, altogether, no, they're not fun. Especially being abandoned, there's no lights, like, no, we're not handling that shit, okay? So, she kind of gets cornered by the other 3 main characters.
Yes, but I don't want to tell their names yet, because it's fun to...
Okay.
So, she gets, cornered, and Green Eyes... We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it with the eyes.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
Kind of traps her in a closet with him and Blue Eyes.
I only know my favorite character's eyes, so I can't help on this one. I mean, I can't. The next eye color is gray.
Yeah.
Or steel color.
So Blue Eyes goes off to deal with Zane, because he's still trying to find Madison, Kate, MK, and Green Eyes kind of helps her with not freaking out for being claustrophobic.
Yes.
By making out with her neck.
Yes.
And that's the only way to describe it.
Yes, no, 100%. She kind of, she's in the closet, so obviously people with claustrophobia are like, she starts hyperventilating, and the only thing he can think of to kind of break her out of that, I'm gonna turn her on.
Yeah.
So, which is totally fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have claustrophobia, so, I can't really relate to this part.
I would have anxiety stuck in a mirror.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Being chased after some guy you think, is trying to, kill you, I would probably be like, no, this is not ideal. I don't like this.
Okay, going from there, they get out of the funhouse, and they take her out of the Laughing Clown. Him and Green Eyes and Blue Eyes take her out of the Laughing Clown.
Yes.
Blue Eyes says, your ride will be here. Green Eyes had given her a hoodie, which is important
Because
remember the hoodie.
Because it's Halloween night, and remember, she's dressed up like, I think she's a witch.
I have no idea.
Some kind of slutty outfit with high heels, okay? Moving on.
Okay. So you get her out of the laughing clown. And then Gray Eyes comes. And he tells her that Bree has already left. And then goes off. That's all he does. Okay? Yes. So she gets picked up by a cop. And arrested because they think she caused the riot on riot night.
So something in the hoodie pocket was a key to the laughing clown, like a master key kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of sets up, and then it's like 11 months later.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, there's nothing else. Okay.
Yeah. 11 months later, she comes back from Cambodia. She thinks her dad's going to pick her up from the airport. He does not. Who picks her up is Gray Eyes. So, of course, she's going to give him sass because she thinks that he caused her to get arrested and the whole trial and a part of this. This is why it's called hate. And then the best line in the whole book.
Okay, what's the best line?
Is when she sasses off to him and says something about, and she calls him Gray, and he goes, close, it's steel, and I'm like, I'm goo.
That is such a great part. Yes. I didn't write any kind of quotes from the series at all.
I fucking love that part. I'm like, she's giving him the business, because he deserves the business.
Oh, yeah. Which is kind of
this whole book.
She is in a hate relationship with all three guys. So she decides to decline their rides, says, fuck you, I'll find my way home.
Yep.
And so that's, she kind of goes to, and she's never been to the new house that they decided to move into.
She also doesn't know any of these guys' names until that point, where she figures out that Gray Eyes is named Steel.
Yes. So, as she's in the taxi, probably like 5 minutes from the house, or their mansion.
Yes.
But house. Anyways. Her dad calls her, and he's like, well, I kind of, was hoping to see you before I left, but we're going off to some kind of trip. We're just going.
We're leaving.
And, like, she, like, sees the car as she's talking to her dad, and I'm just like, you, literally 5 fucking minutes. Yeah. Like, what a dick. But they kind of make it out to, well, if you had taken your ride, you would have got here on time.
Yeah, and she doesn't know the gate code, which I love too.
Yes.
So she has to hop the gate to her house. Yeah. Or her dad's house, as she thinks right now.
Right.
But that's down the way.
Yeah, that's way down the way. So, so do you want to go into their names now, or do you want to do you still want to keep it a mystery until...
So we can go into their names. Okay. So Green Eyes is Cody. Blue Eyes is Archer. Or the Archer. Depending on your fight name.
Yeah.
And when she gets back into the house, she realizes, she gives sass to Steel again.
Oh, yeah. She fucking hates all these motherfuckers because she thinks that they got her she got into some legal troubles, kind of.
Yes.
And I don't know is it a felony misdemeanor? I don't remember exactly.
I don't know.
Okay.
But her dad let her go down for all this shit.
Yeah. But anyways. So do you want to go into Gray Eyes? I know you kind of mentioned some. So,
you want to go into who is your favorite, your least favorite? Because I can go into mine.
Go for it, and I'll follow you.
So, in the order of the guys, my favorite is Steel, Cody, and then Archer. Is that yours too?
Yeah, 100%. So Steel, or Max Steel, his last name Steel. But yes, he's my favorite. Yep. And then it's probably Cody. And then Archer is kind of just a dick through the entire series until closer to the end.
Until the last half of the third book. And then he
closer to the end.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just... he's... Archer's kind of one of those... He's the alpha of the group, kind of. So he likes to kind of throw his power a lot around.
Yes.
So that's kind of why I don't like him. He's kind of like,
But
it's cute when he's like being protective, but when he's kind of being a dick and being protective, it's like,
well, most of the things that he does in defense of Archer, I'm going to defend Archer.
Okay. Defend his title.
The majority of stuff that he does,
it's behind the scenes,
is to protect her.
Yes.
And to keep her safe. And he just likes to pick at her a little bit.
Oh, 100%. A little bit.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
They pick at each other. She calls him Sunshine, which is amazing.
Yes, I really wish, like, yeah, that's a great nickname for him because he is a ray of sunshine. Sarcastic.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. So she's like, so then she kind of realizes that they're living in the house with her.
And she's trying to make them move out of the house.
Yes. So her room, they decide, of course, they say, the whole reason the three guys are living with her is Archer's mother, Cherry, Cerise, but she goes by Cherry, is dating MK's dad, Samuel. And so they are like, let's take you to your room. And it's like fucking pink princess theme.
And glittery.
And just very uninviting. Kind of the reason behind the pink is she has blonde hair, but she dyes it kind of like a rosy pink kind of. And so the guys are like, yeah, my mom wanted a daughter, and bullshit lie. Of course it was the guys thinking, we're gonna torture her a little bit, it's gonna be fun.
Get under her skin a little bit.
Yes, so, you kind of already see where this theme's going with the book, if you can't tell.
I love her back and forth, and poor Cody in this book, he gets the worst of it.
And he's kind of like the jokester, and he's
the golden retriever of the bunch.
Oh, 100%. That's golden retriever energy. I didn't think about that, but 100%. Yes.
That's Cody.
And he's also, Cody, his job is like a professional trainer, PT kind of, whatnot, and Archer's a fighter. Max,
I don't think he really has a job. He plays the piano.
He's Steel, okay? Yes, he plays the piano, which is he also likes video games, which I like. And he has a whole bunch of tattoos and piercings, just bad boy personified, I guess.
All of them really have. They don't have they have the tattoos. They don't have the piercings.
Right. Yeah, he has
Max is the one with the
yes.
Steel's the one with the piercings.
Yes. But yeah, most of them Cody doesn't have as heavy as tattoos. Archer has some pretty heavy designs, and Steel does as well.
Yes.
Tattoo-wise, which, I'm tatted out. Right down my alley here. Sorry. Steel's just my favorite. I can't.
Listen.
Okay. I'm gonna have to reel it back because I love him and he can do no wrong. Anyway.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is my problem. Steel can do no wrong.
Yes, Steel can do no wrong. That's the hard part. So she's trying to, it's like 11 months after the whole riot night, so it's almost like the year anniversary. That's kind of important, I think, in the book too.
Yes.
Okay. So her father kind of enrolls her in this freaking academy.
It's their university, which he funded. I think Archer funded it.
Oh, yeah.
To be completely honest, but
that would make more sense.
Yes.
But we obviously don't know that. So, MK's dad really wants her to play nice, go to the university, take classes. I feel like it's almost kind of like college or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a college,
yeah. Because she is 18?
Yes.
18.
In the first book,
yes.
She's 18.
Yes. 17.
No. In the first book, she's 18. Well, in Riot Night, she's 17.
17, yes. Yeah.
After that, it's 18.
Yeah, and that's important. Later on.
Yeah.
So so when she goes back to school, everyone's like, oh, another MK fucking faker trend girl. And then she kind of finds out that everyone fucking knew she was a scapegoat. They call her the goat.
Yes.
Not the goat.
Well, that was because Drew is a bitch.
Oh, 100%.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah. We'll get to her.
To get the gate code, she had to agree to go on a date with Cody.
It was so cute. I have to mention, this is kind of my favorite part. So the gate code, did you write down the gate code?
Yeah, I know what the gate code is.
I don't know the numerical one, but it spells out Kate, which is cute because, you know, Madison Kate.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I know the gate code.
I had to write it down because I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. But I don't know the numeric thing anymore.
I don't either.
I mean, I did want to text it on a...
Yeah.
a flip phone, but not anymore. So I just thought that was a really cute. So yeah, to get the gate code, because she wanted Bree to come over, because she hasn't seen her in like 11 months. I almost said 11 years. Woo! 11 months, and she wants to reconnect because they were super close. And they didn't really talk on her
trip to Cambodia.
Yeah.
She's trying to focus herself and bring peace to herself, which doesn't really work when you're stuck with 3 guys that you hate.
Yes. So she makes a deal with Cody, and she hangs out with Bree, and then the date with Cody happens, and he takes her to the Nana's Cakes.
Yeah.
Okay. And he kind of knows that she's a coffee fiend, and he's like, it's worth it. The cakes are worth it here. And she's like...
Is this before... Okay, the date is definitely after the coffee incident. So she has this big, fancy espresso machine.
Mm-hmm.
And to fuck with the guys, she replaced the sugar...
Fuck, I forgot, yeah.
...with salt.
There's gonna be a lot of pranks throughout this entire series, and this is just one of those fun ones.
And... Cody, poor Cody, unsuspecting Cody, put salt in his coffee.
Because she refuses to make them from her espresso machine, because fuck them. They can deal with the weak ass coffee they make from a fucking regular coffee pot. And he's like, oh man, this tastes like shit compared to, what you're brewing over there. It smells good.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, put some sugar in it. And it's salt. And then, of course, Cody takes a drink, and he spits it all over Archer's back, which, And she makes some wise comment, be like, well, you should have used sugar. I don't remember what she said, but she is the best when it comes to comebacks or witty remarks, and I'm like, I need this treat so bad.
I love her comebacks for everything, and she's like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. She gives them the business, and it's hilarious. Like, almost anytime she can, she will.
Yes.
So she kind of hangs out with Bree, and then that's when the coffee date happens, and Cody takes her to kind of a place that she would never have gone, because, remember that she's rich girls. They don't really travel outside of their bubble.
Their place.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And this is where you meet Drew.
For the first time, yeah.
For the first time.
I wish it was last time, but...
Yeah, it's not. She's so important I didn't write her down. So I think she's a wraith.
She's a wraith. I know.
Yes, that's why I wish
she is. She is, because she's the same as Dallas, I think.
And yeah, Dallas is a wraith.
Yes.
Gang politics.
There's wraiths and reapers in this book.
And then also you got
Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves, and I think that's all of the gangs that we're introduced to. And
yes.
I don't know gang politics. There's some shit that they have to follow, and territories and whatnot. That kind of comes up sometimes. So, I just put gang politics, whatever.
Yes. No, Drew would have had to have been a reaper, because the boys used to be reapers.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yes. See, gang politics. Okay.
Whatever. She's in one of the gangs.
Yes.
But she shows up to the coffee shop, and she is pissed because Cody is with MK. And MK gets smacked.
100%. And I kind of wish she would have
Punched her.
did something. She just kind of I don't know.
I think she was just taken aback.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then that's where you first hear go. And she is pissed at Cody because she just thought it was... No one kind of knew. No one stood up for her. So she's like, well, no one knew my side. And then she kind of, it creates more hate between her and the guys because now she knows that everyone knows that she was a fucking scapegoat.
Yes.
So more attention and more...
And she thinks that Cody intentionally planted the key on her.
Yes.
That was in the hoodie that he gave her.
And he tries to explain, I think in the first book, that it wasn't even his hoodie.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing someone else's hoodie? And why give it to a girl because she's half naked?
Well, listen, not a single one of these boys wears a shirt. Ever.
They do that on purpose.
Not a single one of them.
I mean, they want to show off their muscles to
and
get under her skin a little bit.
And Cody is a flirt.
Oh, 100% a flirt. Golden retriever energy, flirty, needs attention.
Yes. From the get-go, he was trying to get in Madison Kate's face.
Oh, 100%.
Well, technically all of them were, but not to the extent of Cody.
Yes. Not to, yeah.
Kodiak Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, his full name is Kodiak Jones, but he goes by Cody. I guess it's probably best we mention Archer's last name, which is...
I pronounce it as Dianth.
It's supposed to sound like death, but there's no E. So death. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But it comes up a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So she kind of storms out of the coffee shop and starts to try to just walk home, and Cody just throws her over his shoulder. He's like, no, we ain't doing this shit. You're just too far from home.
I can love it.
Which, of course, pisses her off more. And so this is where she really, really is like, I gotta step up my fucking game. I gotta get these motherfuckers out of my house. Like,
yes.
You need to leave.
Total warfare from that point.
Yeah.
There is a cloth that turns Cody's face purple. That was supposed to be for Archer. Cody gets shit into the stick in his book.
Yes, and
but he takes it with stride, though.
Yeah,
the purple face when he's like, whatever.
He's straight up, like, confident, like, yeah, I meant to do this. I'm a model and some shit on the side, too. Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm sexy and comfortable, confident. And I'm like, I wish I could do that with a purple face. Or, but anyways.
And she tries to make him jealous with Dallas, which doesn't really work. And then she tries to make him jealous with Bark, which I fucking hate. I hate that he's called Bark.
Yes.
It's the worst.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't even write down his full name, but yeah, Bark is just a nickname. And he's kind of a douchebag that wants to get in MK's pants, and
he shows up at the house for a date.
and doesn't go well, if you can't imagine.
And they tell her no. They go, no, you're coming with us somewhere.
Yes.
And Steele breaks the news to him by pushing his face into his car.
Yes. So another protective thing, so, guys talk, so they overheard. Of course, you don't know this until a little bit later in the book.
Yes.
But it's kind of, they're trying to protect her because Bark is like, yeah, I'm gonna get in her pants, I'm gonna date rape her, some drugs are in there. And they're like, no, you ain't going with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So they go to a fight club to kind of, I think it's to kind of scout Archer's next fighter.
Yes.
And this is kind of, there's only 2 scenes where it's kind of, I would say it's just really heavy petting, not anything spicy in the first book.
Well,
I mean, it's spicy, but not...
There's 2 spicy scenes in this book.
Yeah.
Use
that very loosely.
Yes. In the fight that they go to, this is where I fell in love with Steel. Because
So sweet.
he takes her, like, he's watching her. So he gets her a drink. They're kind of, like, talking back and forth, and he's, like, explaining stuff to her, and, like, that scene was so good.
Yeah, he tries to be as truthful as possible, but Archer kind of has him sworn to secrecy to some effect. He thinks what's better for her, obviously, it backfires completely.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
And then they end up having some fun times in the bathroom. That's not all the way.
Yeah, just very heavy petting. They both kind of have their release, and
he ends up with her underwear. That's important later.
Yes, it's yeah.
But then that's all that happens in that fight.
Yeah. And they kind of go back, and then MK finds out that Steel kind of
Brags.
kissed and tell. Yeah. I guess the best terminology, kisses and tells. And of course she's like, no, fuck this. Like, I have some self-respect.
Because she was starting to like Steel because this conversation.
Cool. Yes. And then it kind of, she's like,
and she's like, Steel didn't really do anything, really. He just kind of told me that Bree left.
Yeah.
Because that's all he did at Fight Night.
Yes. So she has a little more of a soft spot because she doesn't think he was necessarily involved. But after he kind of fucking spills the beans, she's like, oh, fuck you then, man. Yeah. So this is where Dallas comes into play. Dallas is an old friend of hers. They were, I think, 14 years old, or at least she was. I don't know how old he was.
I think he's a little bit older. I think he's about the same age as the boys.
Okay. So a little bit older, a couple of years, 4 or 5 years. And she loses her virginity to him at the age of 14, and which is wild to me, but I just think that's a little young. So they still stayed really close friends, and then kind of something happened that he's in the gang life, and he kind of goes to jail for 2 years.
Yes, and they hadn't talked since he went to jail.
Yeah. So he apparently is really good at digital manipulation.
Yeah.
And this is where the second prank comes into play, which is it's one of my favorites, but it's not like the worst prank.
No, the worst prank is the one at the end of this book.
Yes. So Dallas kind of
he photoshopped some
risque gang bang with the boys. That's, I guess, I mean, and of course Archer's pissed because he's the boss, which I find fucking hilarious, because obviously given his personality, he would not be considered a bottom, and I think that's what
you don't know. He could be aggressive,
and he could be a sweetheart in bed. Yes, we don't know that, but it's inferred because I think Cody was like, yeah, he's just mad because you put him on the bottom.
Yeah, and he could also be a switch. You don't know.
I don't know his personal preferences. And of course, Dallas kind of sends it to all of the emails at the university. And so this happened over the weekend, Monday morning, everyone sees
all of them.
And they're like impressed. I guess the other two, Cody and Steele, are kind of like impressed, like, how'd you do that? How did you, And Archer's just fucking pissed. He's like, motherfucker, like,
ugh. Archer's pissed for the majority of these books.
Yes. So
he just stays pissed.
We're just gonna say he's Archer.
Yeah.
So then, I guess the second break kind of happens.
So yeah.
I mean,
so Archer gets under her skin, a lot, but this is okay. I'm trying to get my books in order.
So I think the next part is MK finds out about the stalker and her dad that hid it for years. He thought it was kind of like made up, and then that triggers her, emotionally because her mother had a stalker. And that's kind of one of the reasons why she's no longer with us.
Yes.
And then that's the next prank, which you can go ahead and talk about.
So
it's funny. It's not funny.
So
it's
with
funny.
her stalker, I honestly didn't think it came in until the second book.
No,
like
I wrote it down.
I know.
Makes sense. No.
After I read this first one, I was like, oh, this came in.
The second one has to go more into the dad.
Yes.
So,
but the next thing is, Dallas brings over a mysterious powder that,
I know where that's going.
that Madison Kate puts into Archer's protein powder.
Because she knows he has a fight coming up. And, they kind of test drugs for that.
Yeah. And we don't know what the powder is until, like, the very end of the book.
Yeah. You don't know. It's inferred to... I automatically thought steroids because I know that's a big no-no in the fighting community.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not said until closer to the end when he has this fight and he's... Do we want to go in? Might as well, right?
Yeah.
He's almost disqualified, but she didn't realize how much fucking power he has. Or, I guess not power, more persuasion, how much hold he has on the other people.
Yes.
And it's like swept under the rug. And she's like, gotta do better. Gotta do better.
So do you want to go into the party? Right before she gets to the... Right before the, they find out the Archer has been drugged. Well, Archer finds out that he's been drugged.
I mean,
because Bree has a party.
Yeah, I do kind of
for
want
Halloween.
I kind of do want to like touch on the one part where Steele, they find another gift from the stalker, and she's kind of freaked out. MK is, and Steele plays her a piano piece.
Yeah.
And you don't know how significant that is until later. So I just wanted to put that on there. She kind of falls asleep. And then that's when the party.
Yes. So Bree decides that she wants to have a Halloween party. And Madison Kate doesn't really want to go because Riot Night happened on Halloween.
Mm-hmm. It's the anniversary.
Yeah. But Bree talks to Cody, which I think Madison Kate is, like, referring to them as her bodyguards at this point.
Yeah.
Or her jailers.
Yeah, I mean... They kind of try to dictate everything she does, so.
Yes. So if they're not going, she can't go. Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it. Because she has people that are trying to kill her, and she has a stalker. And Cody says, yeah, we'll go to the party with you.
And that's not really what the plan was, but they end up going. And...
Oh, no, we skipped when they went to Club 22 for the first time. Or was that on Halloween?
I think it was, it says Bree's party.
Because Bree has a party, but I think, or is that the second book? No, it's definitely the first book.
No, I'm sorry. Bree's party, and then the club is after the fight.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is Bree's party at her house. And this is the second, well... How you look at it, it's the first actual sex scene.
Yes.
She sleeps with my favorite character. It's important!
She gets down with Steele.
Yes.
But at Bree's party, she, like, hooks up with Archer and Cody, kind of.
Kind of, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
She makes out with Archer, and...
Poor Cody, he's there.
And she makes out with Cody, too, because Drew shows up, and she wants to,
assert her dominance.
No, Cody's trying to get her to go away.
Yeah. Because they used to be an item, so she thinks, well, fuck you, you know.
Yeah.
This is just your fling of the week. I'll be back, sweetie, kind of thing.
And there's a gang member there shouldn't be there.
Yes.
At Bree's party.
Yes.
This is important because of the knife situation.
Yes.
So,
gang politics question mark. So yes, the gang members at the party that he shouldn't be there.
Yes.
So of course they feel like they need to send Zane, which is Archer's
brother.
older brother, which I guess we didn't mention. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, they send Zane a message with one of the gang members.
Mm-hmm.
They beat up one of the gang members and they
broke both of his legs.
And stabbed him. And Archer has a very specific crimson knife, butterfly knife. It's important.
Really holographic, kind of. Just throwing that out there for you so you can get a visual.
And she sees it, so it's very important.
Yes. Cody and MK, yeah. And then, steal stuff. And then Cody and MK kind of call a truce. And then kind of 2 weeks of her kind of going into hiding. Kind of. I don't remember.
She got sick.
And she got sick, and then she was like,
I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, I'm done dealing. Because that's close to the anniversary.
Yes.
So on anniversary right night, also Halloween, Archer has his
They go to Club 22 because Bree wants to go and party.
After his fight, right?
No. Because the fight hasn't happened yet. Because he, after Club 22 is when he finds out about the drugging. But he goes to a meeting to get, weighed
he got disqualified, quotations, and then they find out that, MK put steroids in the protein powder, and she's like, oh, well, you probably have a small digger. Which, is a thing, kind of, so it's kind of funny, she jabs at him like that, and, he's not happy about her saying
And Archer is super pissed about this.
Oh, yeah.
And then she kind of lets the boys have it, and she goes, well, Zane killed my mom, and brings up all this stuff. And you kind of find out that she knew them, at least Steele and Archer, before...
Yeah, it's inferred.
Before they met at Riot Night. Because the kid has blue eyes. Which is Archer.
Yes. A little bit of foreshadowing there, and then
she gets pissed and then she takes the car.
Yeah. Communication issues throughout the whole series.
Yes.
Just be warned. If that's not your thing, don't finish the series.
Steele tries to stop her, but he doesn't get to the car in time. So she drives off. And she has issues with cars because of car crashes.
From my understanding, she just doesn't drive. So when she just says, hey, I'll drive, or just drives off, she doesn't really know how to drive.
Yeah.
So bad idea all around. So yeah, she takes off. Someone crashes her car.
Yes.
And she kind of runs off to guess where?
The Laughing Clown. They crashed her car intentionally, so it wasn't just somebody crashed into her.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So she gets out of the car, and then she runs towards light in the distance, which happens to be the Laughing Clown.
Which, if it's abandoned, why are there fucking lights?
Well, it was all the lights were on, because this was a trap for her. Yes.
Anyways.
So...
yeah, she runs off. She gets stabbed with Archer's knife. The red butterfly holograph.
Archer's supposed knife.
Yes.
She thinks it's Archer's knife.
Yes, at the time. I said technically one similar, but and so she's like, so they come to find her because obviously they're worried about her, and she's scared. She's like, no, stay away. She tries to run off, and she falls.
She runs into Cody, and she fucking screams.
Yes.
And I'm like, damn.
Because
she thinks that they're trying to kill her.
Yeah, they're involved. Because, obviously, getting a glimpse in the darkness, even if there's lights, it's red, and she just saw someone with a similar knife.
Yes.
So and that's where it is.
Yeah, that's a cliffhanger for that one, is her screaming at Cody.
Oh my gosh.
And fainting.
Yes, fainting, yes.
Okay, do we want to go into the bonus chapter for this one? Or do we want to leave those till the end?
I say let's just go for it, because I feel like it's going to be more confusing in the end.
Okay.
So, I had to, powwow before this, because I had the Kindle versions, of fucking course. So, of course, Rachel has the physical copies. And so she's like, there's bonus chapters. I'm like, God dang it!
At least in the first 3.
Yes, the first 3. So I had to kind of, obviously they're not super long, but I kind of wanted to have a discussion with Rachel about them, just because obviously we wanted to do all 4 books, and we're gonna commit. So
Yes.
bonus chapter is from Riot Night, and then I just want to kind of point out the first book is only MK's point of view. So the bonus chapter is actually Cody's point of view.
Yes.
Which is
all of the bonus chapters are one of the guys' point of view.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes. It kind of gives you kind of a backstory more, which I would have liked when I fucking read them the first time, but it's okay. It's alright. Nope, it's no biggie. A little peeved. It's fine. So it's the night of Riot's night. Ugh. And so it kind of goes off with Cody's point of view that they're, Archer's fighting, they hear gunshots, and then they hear some guy bragging about, I killed MK.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess something to brag about, but it was a MK wannabe.
Yes. And they're like, oh shit. But we don't know at this point why they are so
why they
determined.
give a shit. Yeah. So they kind of, Archer runs down and he's like, Cody, come on. And,
shirtless, by the way.
Yeah.
Both of them are shirtless.
Yeah. Steele's nowhere to be found towards the, until the end.
No, because I think Archer goes, Steele, take care of Bree.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, you see him for, a second.
Yeah. And then, Archer's like, it's not her. And then you kind of get the side of Cody's point of view when they're trapped in the little closet. So it's kind of cute. It kind of brings it together, I feel like.
Yeah.
So when you first read these, did you read the bonus chapter?
No, I didn't have these until after I'd read the whole series.
Okay. So rereading it with the refresher, how did you feel about the bonus chapter?
So this bonus chapter I liked because I was like, shit, yeah, we get Riot Night from the boys' perspective, and you get to see what happens from their perspective.
Yes.
But you just get Cody's perspective, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. It would have been a little overkill if it was all of them.
Yeah. I wish it would have been Steele's perspective, but
he wasn't there much, so...
I know, but you could have seen what he was doing. What are you doing in between?
He's the one that, kind of just cleans up everyone's messes kind of thing, and yeah. So I'm glad it kind of wasn't his, but I felt like it just wouldn't push the story along.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're talking, what you mean. So that takes us into the second book.
Which is Lair.
If you can't, they each have a theme if you haven't realized. So it opens up with Cody's point of view again, and then it switches to MK's through the rest of the book.
So Cody's chapter is they're not stressed out, that's not the right word, but they're nervous
worried
because she's getting discharged from the hospital because she got stabbed.
Kind of right above the navel area.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters or not, but they talk about the scar, so.
Yes. So they want her back, they want to explain that it was definitely not them because she woke up in the hospital and Archer was there and she screamed. And then they got removed from her guest list, her visitor list.
And she and this is it starts out 2 weeks after the incident. And then they're kind of recapping in their head. Mm-hmm. And so she kind of was like, no, it's Archer fucking stabbed me with his knife. And so they tested his knife for blood. And I like how they were like, it's not MK's blood.
No.
They tested it for MK's blood and it's not. And that's how they worded it. I'm like, we don't know.
You knew. They were doing some bullshit.
Yeah, they were doing some shady shit on the side here. Yeah. So then Archer had a fight in between the 2 week period, and it was his first loss.
Yes.
He was 14-0 or something, 20-0. I don't know. He had never lost a fight until that, and Cody's like, well, it's your fucking fault, you shouldn't have fought, distracted. Which I fucking love, because Cody's like, damn,
because I guess I'll just have to train you harder.
Yes, so he does, kind of in retaliation, because they don't agree with Archer and how he's handling the situation, but they...
Because there's things that are being held back from MK. She doesn't know some things in this book.
Yes.
There's kind of little hints throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know.
Yeah, she does not know. So it's 2 weeks, and they're like, well, where is she? They figured she would come home.
No.
And then, so they call the hospital, and Archer's like, she fucking left like 3 days ago. She just signed herself out. And they're like, well, how could she do that?
Because she's
an adult! Thank you. So they're like, oh, fuck. So they try to track her down. So they obviously go to Bree first, and, thinking that, where's she at? She's like, I don't know.
Because she didn't tell Bree, but she used Bree's credit card.
Yeah, so Bree's like, I could have fucking looked any time, but I was just like, I better probably not, because they'll get it out of me one way or the other. So they don't. But
and then in the meantime, in her 3 days of freedom,
3 days of freedom,
she goes to see Zane about what the boys told her about her mother. That Zane didn't kill her mother, that it was somebody else, and she just wants some more information.
Yeah. And he basically was like, no, I loved your mom. They were lovers behind Samuel's back, which is MK's dad. Sorry, you guys don't remember that. So he kind of explains his side of his relationship with her mother, Debbie, or Deb. I'm sorry, I think it's Debbie, but Deb, whatever. And so he's like, well, tell me from the beginning. Tell me what happened. So she goes on the spiel, and he's like, well, if I have some more information, I'll get with you. Get the fuck out of my club.
Yeah. And then we get introduced to Cass, which I love Cass.
I love Cass. He is Zane's second command in the Reapers.
He's the grumpy old man, but he's not an old man. He's 33.
Yeah, he's grumpy old man just fits the description 100%.
He's also, side note, in the Hades series, he's one of the guys.
I hate you. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in that. We are. I don't know if we're gonna do that series. No promises. Anyways, so this is kind of where we find out why Steele is so withdrawn when Archer basically brings her back, forces her back, really.
Because Cass shows up with her to her hotel room, and then Archer's there, and he goes, "You're coming home," and basically forces her in the car.
Yes. Which, it's kind of sweet, it's oh, I love it if he wasn't such a dick.
Yes. I would love his, possessive, behavior and, his protective behavior if he wasn't such an asshole and he didn't just, dig it in all the time.
Oh,
He's
yes.
like, you're a spoiled brat, princess.
Yes, if he was just a little more loving. There are some moments in the series where he's you're oh, okay. And then he goes and fucks it up.
Yeah.
With something he says or does, and it's just bro, you just need to learn. Okay, you just need to learn. Anyways, so
but that's kind of their dynamic too.
Yeah, it's their dynamic no matter what. So you kind of get a little bit of backstory from Steele. He had a twin sister that 3 years ago died in a car accident. So that's why he was really withdrawn and didn't really, because of course, she's like, well, Steele didn't try to kill me like Cody did. So she's upset that he's so withdrawn, and that's where you kind of get the backstory of why he's like, I was really scared. You were in a car accident.
Yeah, but she kind of makes up with Cody first.
Yes,
because Cody's the golden retriever, and he picks at her. He goes after her.
Yes, but I like Cody. I just feel like you said, he is kind of the golden retriever, and
Tate James definitely likes Cody. Cody is the favorite of
oh yeah
from the author.
I just it just feels like he doesn't have much of a personality otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, Cody. I like Cody I feel like he's a great character kind of within the group, but this is not my fave. I just can't. No. I just can't. Okay.
Steele is the best.
Steele's the best. So yeah. Yeah, she kind of makes up with Cody first. And then, of course, Archer digs at her, and he's like, well, maybe just fuck Cody and he'll get over you like Steele did. And then that, of course, upsets her. And, Steele and, MK kind of work it out. So, let's see here. This is kind of where Samuel comes back into play.
Yes.
He gets back from his, wherever the fuck he was gone to, and basically tells her, you're gonna fucking be an adult, stop throwing a tantrum.
Well, because she got stalker mail from her stalker, obviously, stalker mail. When she had a little fun time with Steele, and he sent her a package, and basically told her that he was going to kill Steele.
Yeah. Like, she's mine, and I'm going to cut off your hand, or I'm going to cut off every body part that touched her kind of thing.
I don't know, was that in the first book, or was that in the second book?
The second book goes more into the stalker, because Samuel's like, it's all fake, it's not really a stalker, da-da-da-da. And that's where he's like, that's when he threatens MK with, you either get your act together, you let the boys be the boys, protect you kind of thing, follow their say-so when Samuel's gone, or I'm going to commit you to a fucking mental hospital.
Yeah. So she makes up with Cody and has fun times with Cody in the meantime, and that's the stalker mail. The first stalker mail was in the first book. Okay.
Yeah. That's when she kind of finds out. Yeah. It kind of, there's a stalker throughout it all, but it just gets a little bit more progressive as we
everything like kind of bleeds together when you've read them back to back to back.
Yeah. That's why I took notes, Rachel.
Well,
anyways.
This is my second reread.
This is mine too, and I was like, I know I'm gonna have to have my notes, because I'm like, even when I was like reading them, I'm like, okay, so this happens here. Okay, this happens here. I'm like, oh wait, that didn't happen yet. So like I had to take a step back. That's why I did notes, because I was like, I know there's so many character names, I'm not gonna get right. Like I was like, no, this ain't happening.
But the stalker sends her mail after she does it with Cody for the first time, and it's a dead sparrow and a photo from their security cameras. Yeah, because Cody has sparrows and roses on his chest, like he's from 2000.
Shots fired, yeah. I don't have any roses or sparrows, so you can just say whatever you want with it.
Just saying.
Just put that out there. Go for it.
Okay.
So this,
but Samuel gets called in.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's her dad that's going to commit her, and that says that the boys have to be with her when it's actually the boys.
Yeah. This is where she storms out of his office or wherever they're at, and she kind of just sits outside, and that's when Archer plays his hand a little too soon, and he's like, Samuel's like, I told you should have just had her committed to a fucking hospital. And Archer's like, no, we'll handle her. It's okay. So then she kind of finds out that they're fucking pulling all the strings.
Yeah, and then Archer's like, I'm going to send you on a world cruise, so you're like, out of the picture.
You're gone again. So him and his mom, Cherry, they kind of leave on another, it's a cruise this time.
Yes.
Like a long cruise. They're gone forever. But like, so, and then I have where Archer, is this Thanksgiving, I think. They go to
his grandma's house?
Yes, and right, that's when that's where they introduce Constance, Philip,
Anne,
yeah. And then that's kind of, this is like the first side you see a sweet side of Archer.
A little bit.
Which is cute.
He explains things a little bit when it comes to the knives.
The knives, yeah.
Because the only way you can get these knives is from...
Or was from
his grandfather.
Yes. Which was Philip D'Ars. Yeah. We're just leaving on that. Moving on. So that's... He kind of explains, like, yes, this is my knife. And the knife that you saw is probably similar.
Yes. Because Philip has a whole drawer full of knives.
They're like custom-made, one-of-a-kind knives kind of thing.
Yes.
And he kind of gave them to people he thought deserved them. I'm not really sure the reasoning behind it.
Like they went through some kind of training and stuff.
Yeah. So kind of each one of them, people have a knife. And So he decides to give her one, which I freaking love.
Yeah, but that was after they got into a huge fight.
Yeah.
And he just, like, kind of slams on the counter for her.
And says, here, fuck off.
Yeah.
But it's purple and holographic, and it's a butterfly knife. They're fucking sweet. Anyways.
Yes. And you also get some more gang politics.
Yes.
Because you get to know that Archer's dad ran the Reapers, and his uncle runs the Wraiths. He's the ferryman.
Yes. Sharon.
Charon.
Sharon the ferryman.
Yes.
What?
From Greek mythology. That's where that name came from.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's the leader of the race.
And that his grandpa was kind of combating human trafficking because his great grandpa bought Anna in a human trafficking ring, obviously.
Yeah. And she's kind of like the maid. She kind of stays with Constantine, which is his grandmother.
Yes. And they have a relationship, but they don't want nobody to know they have a relationship.
Yeah. Frowned upon. I'm not really sure why.
I think it's just they're old.
They're older,
like
that time period, obviously.
And Connie had to keep it a secret for so long because she was married, obviously.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So, kind of before they leave, MK's like, this is kind of the sweet thing that she does. She's like, they love you no matter what, and you can be whatever you want to be. So I thought that was really kind of sweet that she's trying to mend a relationship even though she hates these fuckers.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of sweet.
Well, at this point, she
kind of
was kind of okay with Cody and Steele. I think she was still mad at them for the whole dad thing.
Oh, yeah, because she still doesn't understand, because of course, when she was growing up, her father was, the head honcho. He got what he fucking wanted. Mm-hmm. And for someone that powerful to be kind of a puppet on strings for Archer, she's like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
I need clarification, and obviously she doesn't get it until
the very end. Because Steele is, the conversations with Cody and Steele, they're like, well, this is Archer's story to tell. So we can't really tell you. We want to tell you.
We don't want to hold secrets from you, but this is...
Meanwhile...
We owe Archer a blood vow or some shit.
Meanwhile, the stalker's, sending your stuff and going, these guys are lying to you. They're liars.
Yes. And his thing is he likes to send Barbie dolls with pink hair and modeled after what she was wearing whenever he, I guess, took the picture or whatever he's trying to represent, which is kind of freaky as fuck.
Yeah.
So, so that's when the fight happens, unless something else happens in between.
No, we can go
to the
fight.
So they're going to the fight, and so this is kind of, Cody's like, no, it's Steele. He's like, go talk to Archer, because he...
Rile him up a little bit.
Yes. Because Steele knows, they have this banter, and it's hate fuck kind of thing.
Yes.
And so she's like, okay, all right. So she goes to Archer, and she's like, so, if you lose, you're gonna have to watch me, give a blowjob to Cody, and at the after party. So if you don't want that, then you need to win. And he's like, well, what do I get if I win? And she's like, yeah, we know. I'm like, oh. So of course, knockout, in the first couple minutes of the fight, and and Cody's like, what the fuck did you say to him? She's like, I just came and said him not to lose. It's like, whoa, all right. So it's kind of more of the playful side of the relationship.
And they had that photo shoot before. We need to talk about the photo shoot a little bit. Because Zane tries to talk to MK.
I thought that was in...
No, it's in the second one. Because there's a photo shoot in Fake, but it's...
Yes, you're right.
Because
there's just a lot to the book.
Yes.
But yes.
There's also multiple times where they're in multiple places doing the same thing in different books.
Yes. It makes it hard to keep straight, obviously. Sorry in advance. So
the guys have a photo shoot.
Yes.
That she's not supposed to be in.
Yes. Oh, with Jace.
Yes.
Oh god, Jace. That fucker. So he's their kind of like PR manager.
Yes.
Kind of for all the boys, since Archer is a model on the side. I kind of mentioned that earlier, and so was Cody. I think Steele is kind of, I mean, he has that bad boy vibe, so I think he is in some of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they all do some modeling. I don't know what they do. They're rich.
Yeah, no idea.
They don't have to have jobs.
Yeah. So
she gets a call from Zane. About information.
Mm-hmm.
Steele intercepts the call.
Yeah, after she talks to him for maybe a couple minutes, it's not like immediate, so she gets some short answers.
Steele's like, give me the phone.
Yeah, and the poor girl that kind of give her the phone is not seen afterwards.
No.
And I suspect they killed her, but I was hoping not, but it's not said, so moving on. This is kind of...
But you get Jace, and then you get to know that Archer is hiding something from it, and Zane knows some of it.
Yes. And this is, and Jace does not like her.
No.
Because I think he sees how much the guys are actually into her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of alluded to that why he's so jealous is that he's into Archer.
Yeah. Well, look at that. To that in the third book.
Oops. Okay.
So Jace is in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
There's information that Archer is not sharing.
Yes.
That's important.
So MK is kind of like, I just feel so bad for her. Like, no one wants to tell her fucking shit.
Well, to be fair, Archer is telling them not to tell her anything.
Yes.
Because this is Archer's secret that he has to tell her. If he would have told her in the beginning, it wouldn't have been as damn bad.
But then you wouldn't have the series. So, I mean, it's again a give and a take kind of thing. So, do you want to go back to the party and after party?
Yes.
Okay. So, obviously Archer wins his fight for some things. And then at the after party, you see Drew come in again. Mm-hmm. Bree and Dallas are there. And then kind of some gang stuff happens, and the ferryman and Zane are there. And
they want to have a meeting with Archer.
Yes. So Archer and Steele kind of go off. Cody is, staying there to protect.
Because Steele is the sharpshooter. I think you know that at this point.
Yes.
Where I don't know why you know that. There was some...
There was something said, but he's really good with guns. And,
it was because her knife got taken away at the diner.
Oh, yeah.
I love that scene.
God. I did, yeah. We fucking,
After Thanksgiving...
Yes.
They go to get food.
Mm-hmm.
She gets attacked in the restroom at the diner. She stabs the guy that attacks her.
Yeah, with a knife. And, I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
And, it's the butterfly knife that Archer gave her. And, obviously, the guy that attacks her runs off because the guy's...
Yeah, or right there.
Right there, and she screamed for help, so they're obviously gonna come and help her. And then she goes, they have my knife! And then Archer's like, shit.
He's like, no, first of all, he's like, I'll just get you another one. And she's like, I don't want another one. I want that one. And he's like, fine. And so he leaves someone with her.
Yes.
It's not really important.
It's Cody. He leaves Cody with her. Yeah. Because Steele gets hurt. Because Steele always gets fucking hurt.
I totally forgot about, yes. Oh. Because it's important to the photo shoot too. Shit. Okay.
Yes.
So, while they're tracing this guy, Archer does some, not great driving, according to Steele. We weren't there, we don't know.
No.
And Steele kind of tumbles out of the car and gets gravel rash, kind of. Because, he's not wearing a shirt or something. No. I think he is wearing a shirt on that one.
Yes.
But it just kind of his, shoulder area. The back of his shoulder.
Because you find out he was hanging out of the car trying to shoot the guy.
Yes. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm good with weapons. And I'm like, oh. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, we skipped that part. It's hilarious.
But she withholds everything from him because he's injured.
Yes. So no sexy time at all with this one, okay? So he has to take like a week to heal.
Yes.
And of course, since Steel can't get any, she's like, Cody, you're out. Which I fucking find hilarious. And of course, Archer's not getting any, so, you know. And I think the second book is more it kind of picks up the spice level, or not spice level, but more frequency of the spice.
Well, I think it, like, picks up every book.
Yeah, you're right.
Because in the first book, it's only Steel.
And then Cody,
and then Steel.
Yeah, and then both together. And then, obviously, the progression is very much later in the fourth book.
Yes.
And, so, yeah, at the after party, some gang shit happens. So they kind of go off into a thing.
So Archer and Steel go into the meeting with the other guys, and then they hear a loud noise. No, not them, but Cody and MK hear a loud noise, and she goes, go check on them.
Yeah. She's like, I'm here with Dallas, which is also a gang member, and Bree. She's like, it's fine, go. And then that's when she kind of finds out that Bree and Dallas are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Bree kind of gets jealous because she thinks that Dallas is still into MK.
Yes.
And so they kind of storm off, or she storms off first. And then Dallas is like, I gotta fix this because I really like her.
And then basically MK goes, okay, just go ahead and go fix that with Bree.
Yeah.
And then
Drew kind of antagonizes her, is like, oh, you can't make this fucking shot on the pool table. And she missed because of a loud sound. And then, the Cody situation. And so Drew's like, well, you made me, bet a shot. You need to drink this. Well, of course, MK's smart-ish.
It would be smart if it wasn't this situation.
Yes. So she actually takes Drew's drink because Drew is trying to get her to drink this one specific, here, take this. And MK's like, no, I don't trust you, bitch.
Yeah.
And so she takes her drink, which was a mistake because that was spiked too.
Yes. That was spiked worse than what hers was spiked.
Yes. Yeah. Mostly because I think it's this. Mom, do we want to go?
So we can go.
I don't think is it said
it's fentanyl is what it is.
Yeah, it's fentanyl, but I didn't know about the Drew part. Is that in the second book, or is it you know about it in the third book?
So you know about it in the second book.
Okay. So Drew's drink was spiked with fentanyl, a very, very high dose, and so MK obviously didn't know that. But there was also something in the other drink. We just don't know the severity of that.
Yes. Drew was trying to get drug MK so that another gang member could have his way with her.
Yeah.
But MK feels like bad at this point because she's having an overdose. So she goes outside.
Yes.
She sees Bark there.
Fuck Bark. I mean, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Anyways. She goes outside, and then somebody, she's in and out during these chapters.
Yes.
So somebody picks her up and puts her in somewhere, in a trunk.
Is
what it ends up being.
And the person that saved her and put her in saved is in quotations here, but put her in the trunk also gave her a
Narcan.
Yeah, the Narcan. Which you could suspect because she's like something. She said something about her nose hurting suddenly, which is where you, I guess, inject. I don't know.
I don't know how that works. I don't do drugs.
Sorry, I don't need this knowledge. I mean, I work in the health industry, but I have no idea. So some shit happens. So she's found in the trunk, and of course it's Steele's truck.
Yes.
Trunk. I'm sorry.
Because her stalker, which is who ends up saving her.
Yeah. Because he doesn't want her dead. He wants her for himself.
Yes. Put her in Steele's trunk so they could find her, I think.
Yes.
Because they need to take her to the hospital, obviously.
Yeah, she still needs some more Narcan, which apparently is a higher dose. I mean, obviously, because you find out that the stalker is the one that actually spiked Drew's drink. which is why he has the arcane.
Yes.
Obviously, I guess he thought ahead. I don't know.
I have no idea.
So that's kind of Drew's found dead. Some scenes.
With her throat slit.
Yeah, he's like, just fuck this. I'm just gonna
But Archer is the one that finds her in the trunk. And you don't know this really until she's like, because she freaks out and she thinks spiders are all over her.
Yeah, which like hallucinations, I guess, is part of.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then Archer finds her and he takes her out of the trunk and he's basically holding her this whole time while she's freaking out and she won't let anybody touch her, but she won't let go of Archer.
Yeah. Which is, it's kind of sweet.
Yes.
If you didn't hate the motherfucker. Yes, so, she goes to the hospital, kind of, is kind of down for the count for a couple of days, because that really wore her out, so she's sleeping, kind of, some sex scenes here and there between, the two guys, because Archer, blue balls as ever. It's just funny, because that's thrown around a lot in the book, where it's like, well, yeah, Archer has the biggest case of blue balls you ever seen, and I'm like, oh, yes, I love it. Anyways.
Because it's stated in the books that she is not quiet.
Yes. 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 Okay. And then this is the end of the book.
Yes.
And so, yeah, go ahead.
She sees the boys outside because she's in the kitchen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, what's going on? Because they seem to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sees Zane's out there, so she goes outside.
Mm-hmm. And Cass. It's important.
He's important. Cass is Zane's second.
Yes.
At this point. So where Zane goes, Cass goes, pretty much.
So this is where Zane drops some major fucking bomb on her. Some bomb of information. And it's a lot. I'll go with the first part and then you can go with the second part. Okay. So basically Zane's like, yeah, your father sold you. What? I'm sorry. So basically, Samuel was broke. And they can't access... Oh, I don't think you really know that
her
part.
trust, yeah.
Yeah, the trust fund. Until she turns 21. And so he sells her to whoever's going to pay the most. And that was Archer. And there's another tad bit back to this.
So, on this deal that Archer makes with her dad, they are also married in this deal. So she and Archer are husband and wife.
Yeah. 1 week after the riot incident, by the way.
Yes.
So, a year ago at this point.
Yes.
Why she was 17.
Yeah. So it could be legal. So
yeah, so her father could basically sign.
Yeah. But he didn't... Okay. I'm going to defend Archer a little bit before we know some of this stuff.
Okay.
Because he didn't, get with MK. They didn't have any interaction until she got back from Cambodia. So, yes, they are married for this whole year. Mm-hmm. And yes, she was 17, but they didn't do anything.
No, they didn't. Yeah, no, they did. I'm sorry, I thought that was implied. Yes, nothing happened until she came back 11 months later. She's 18 at this point. And then this is this takes place, super fast. These books do.
Yes.
So, 11...
She turns 19 somewhere in these books.
Yes, yeah. So, 19, maybe 20-ish by the actual end of the series. I'm not 100% sure on that. But, yeah, so they drop that shit on her.
And that's the end of the book.
That's the end of the book. And I'm like...
are you kidding me?
Yes. What? Okay. So, God. So it's the next book is called Fake.
Do we want to go over the bonus chapter?
Oh shit, yeah.
This was my favorite bonus chapter.
My bad. Bonus chapter, because I obviously, yes. Bonus chapter.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the bonus chapter is from Archer's perspective. It's after the party after he won the fight. Mm-hmm. And it goes through Archer's, a little bit of the meeting, but not really.
Yeah.
And then...
More just, the end of it, where Cody shows up.
Yes. you get to see Archer frantically trying to find her.
It is so sweet. It is nice.
It's so heartbreaking because he hasn't told her anything. Like, she doesn't know anything at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is my wife and she's dying and I love her, but she doesn't know I love her. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's from his point of view. And it's basically the night that she was drugged and them finding her in Steele's truck. And then you get more of the backstory of what the fuck she was saying about, that's when you know about the spiders, because we did get to see as readers in the actual book, like, she's like, get off of me, like, but you don't know what that is. So it's kind of nice to kind of see, like, what at least she's verbalizing to them, and she's not there mentally.
And Archer's, like, frantic, and he's like, we need paramedics now, and, like, the other two guys aren't anywhere, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's, and that's kind of the end of the bonus chapter where he's like, oh my God, like, I need to tell her fucking everything. I need to be truthful. Like, oh my God, like, this is, like, he's regretting his life choices at this point.
Yes.
And I'm like, I wanted to see this when I read it the first time.
I know, and that's why I wish that these had some of the guys' perspective. Because if we would have got Archer's perspective throughout this whole book,
it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's more the author wanted you to feel how she felt. You're in the dark. You don't know what's going on. You don't have all the information, and you're like, I fucking hate these guys, but they're so kind of cute. But I hate them. like it's a love-hate relationship, and that's
by the second book, I was like, I'm in love with Hard Eyes.
Oh yes.
Hard Eyes.
Yes. No, 100%. Like, come on. Yeah.
Steele is my, like, number one book boyfriend.
Yes, I'm up there with you on that one. Okay, so now the next book, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to show the next book is Fake. Okay. And this kind of opens up with Archer's point of view, and then the rest is MK's. Yeah. Yes, yeah. And, so it kind of... I lost it. So this is kind of where you find out it takes place where Zane just dropped the fucking F-bomb of information. And she's like, okay, gets on the bike with Cass.
Yes.
And
because Archer is about to kill Zane and Cass.
Oh, yeah.
At this point. He's like, I'm going to shoot the tires out and I'm going to kill him.
Yeah. 100%. He's just like, this motherfucker's not leaving my property. I'm not doing it.
And Cody and Steele are on board with this plan.
Oh, 100%. So, and Cass kind of like, yeah, we need to head out, man.
Yes.
We need to fucking go. And so, they do this strategically. Zane goes, Cass, and then MK's on the back of the bike of Cass.
Yes.
And so they're kind of in line. So
well, he wasn't going to do anything with her on the bike anyways.
No, but I think if they would have had a clear sign, they fucking would have.
I mean, they probably would have took Zane out.
Oh, 100%. But Zane kind of realizes that he needs a shield, kind of.
Yes.
And she wants to get the fuck out.
Yeah. She knows that they all lied to her because they didn't. Cody and Steele lied by omission, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Archer just flat out lied to her because he didn't say anything about it.
Oh, yeah.
She also realizes that this is not her dad's house. This is Archer's house. Mm-hmm. The D on the gate is Archer's last name, not hers.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny because they, technically have the same first initials. So she doesn't have to change that. It's MKD.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice when that works out? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, she kind of leaves with them. And this is where it gets... shoot, I didn't write. And then my notes are shit on this one.
And then Cody fucking punches Archer.
Oh, yeah.
And so does Steele.
Yeah, they're so mad and,
and Archer just takes it because...
He knows he fucked up. He knew as soon as he saw Kate's face, the betrayal and, like, the pure, like, I'm just done. Like, I can't take the lies anymore. Like, so he knows that he's like, oh, shit. I fucked this shit up. Like, 100%. So that, I feel like it's like a couple months.
It's definitely at least 1 month, because they go to Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Kate goes to Aspen.
Yeah.
With Bree, and they meet Scott, the bane of my existence.
Oh my god.
Fucking Scott.
Fucking Scott. And it is so weird to me, because they meet Scott in Aspen,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, I'm gonna transfer, because, like, they don't leave anything out. She tells the whole damn story, because she's, like, heartbroken, and Bree's trying to, be there for her, and then they meet this guy, and he's like, oh, I got you, I can protect you. And so then he transfers to the university, but then his brother's already a cop at Shadow Grove, and I'm like,
I don't know.
How did this work
gets
out?
confusing.
Yeah, this is where it starts to pick up. Like, I feel like a lot of shit happens in the 3rd and 4th book, and I feel like some plot holes in the 4th book, but we're not there
To
yet.
be honest, the 3rd book is my favorite book. Even with the cliffhanger ending.
Mine is too. I was like, the talking points, favorite book out of all of them. I was going to talk about it afterwards, but it's fine. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, I kind of agree with you. Fake and Lair are my, 1 second, and then I actually like Hate and then Kate.
Yeah.
If I did the order, yeah, okay. You're welcome for that interlude. So yeah, this is kind of where she comes back, and
she has an apartment
Mhm.
that the Reapers supplied for her. She's
Yeah.
across the hallway from Cass, our favorite Reaper.
Yes. Our favorite Reaper. Yes. And so she needed some time, obviously.
And she's not talking to any of the boys.
No, she's not. And they're all just like, they're all just like mopey ass, like.
Yeah.
Archer's more pissed than usual, which, and to be honest, this book's the spiciest of, well,
Kate's the
spiciest.
spiciest.
This is where it picks up in the spice level. But that's a little bit later in the book. So obviously, something happens for her to go back.
Yes. Well, she has to go back to Shadow Grove because the Aspen trip was a vacation.
Yeah. Because it's during the Christmas time and
yes,
spring. Well, yeah,
Christmas time.
Christmas
I think it's
time,
Christmas
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's their winter break.
yeah. The 2. I feel like I got like 2 months off or some shit.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, it's not important. Anyways, it's not important. I mean, it is, but it's not.
So she goes back to college.
Yes, and Scott shows up.
She knows she's going to see the boys there. She thinks she's not going to see Steele there, and it's not really explained because he did say he graduated in the second book, and then he's there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. They don't go. They don't go
basically.
to school.
They're just there.
They're just there for, I guess, to keep an eye on her,
Yes.
really. Anyways.
So Scott shows up. Is this? No. Okay. So she runs into Archer in the hallway.
Yes, like literally runs into him.
Yes. And then she's trying to like ignore him, like pretend that he doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't know him.
Moving on.
And then Scott shows up. And Scott's kind of acting like he's with her.
He's like, oh, hey, babe, and...
Hey, Maddie.
yeah. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh, gross. I was like, that's not her nickname. Yeah, no.
Yes.
You already, like, get the ick from it.
Yes.
Because you're like, ugh, Hellcat to
And
Maddie?
then-
Like, no, thank you.
Like, he's putting on this act. She doesn't know what's happening. She knows that Archer's going to retaliate. But she also sees Cody and Steele down the hallway. So she definitely knows how to retaliate.
Yeah, so they kind of go off to the library, and she's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, well, I wanted to help you, and they go, and her and Bree go into this feel like,
You're going to get yourself killed.
you're gonna get killed, man. Like, you don't want to do this at all, promise. And he's like, no, I want to try to be there for you, da-da-da. And he has, like, kind of a thing for her, so that's kind of why he wants to do it, I feel like.
He's a nice guy. In the sense of, like, if he doesn't get his way, he's gonna...
Yeah, I could I mean, I was like, I can definitely see that, but yeah, I read the fucking book. Yeah. So she's like, okay, fine, I warned you, if you fucking die,
it's your fault.
What do we do?
Because the last guy that tried to date me, he got his face slammed into a car.
He accidentally
And that was,
Bark.
That was light on the...
Oh,
he didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, it was definitely...
And Scott kissed her in the hallway.
Oh, yeah. So she's like, hey, you can pretend, but she's very clear. She set boundaries with him. Like, I do not want to have sex with you.
Yes.
I do not want to have a relationship with you. So I feel like she very, very clear boundaries on this.
Yes.
And so I think the next thing that happens is they go on kind of like a double date.
Well...
Or is there something that...
Okay, so Cody shows up at her sociology class. I don't know which class it is. And he kind of goes, who's the Walking Dead man? And she goes, don't touch him. And Cody's like, we won't after this.
No, he says, I won't, because it wasn't him that hit him.
He goes, I'll tell the guys.
Yeah. And at that point, he's already got kind of a bruised face.
Yeah. Steele already got to him at that point.
It's not said Archer, but definitely Steele, because Steele's like,
yeah.
So
then we can go to the double date.
The double date at the movie theater.
Yes.
So Bree and Dallas, and then obviously Scott and MK go to a movie theater, see like I don't know, whatever they were seeing.
An action movie. I think that's what it was said.
Okay. And then, of course, Bree and Dallas they're not watching the movie.
No.
They're not watching the movie. And then, of course,
Scott's trying not to watch the movie either.
Yeah, he's like, hand on thigh, and she's like, no. Like, she keeps pushing off like 8 times in a row. I think after the couple, like, maybe third time, I'd be like, just chop his hand off. Like, I mean, I don't know how much clearer she can fucking be.
Yep. That
she's not interested in anything with him, or she kind of like plays it off, tries to be nice, like, I'm not interested in seeing anyone at the moment. I kind of had my shit broken. But and then she's like, clear, I don't want anything from you. Thank you. Goodbye.
And then she gets shot at.
Yes.
And then Cody comes in with a tackle.
And tackles her, like, to the point where she's about to hit her head, and he's, like, all protective, and it's kind of cute. Anyways. Yeah, so Cody kind of gets her out of there, and Archer's just standing there, and this was kind of funny, because she's like, is Archer fucking bulletproof, or what the fuck is he just standing there for? And he's just, like, barking orders, and, people are gone, and
Steele's taking care of business.
Yes,
that's what he always
does. He's like the cleaner of the group. Like,
well, he's the sharpshooter. He's the one that tortures them. Like,
yeah,
he does it all.
He is your jack of all trades, which I find attractive. Sorry. And okay, so Cody kind of takes her back to her apartment.
Yes,
because she's not ready. They're not ready to push her to come back home yet. Mm-hmm. Is what it basically comes down to.
And this is where Cody kind of makes amends with her.
Yeah.
She's still not 100% ready to forgive him.
Yeah.
But he makes amends because he's Cody and he's a golden retriever and he's going to go after her.
Yeah. Yeah, this is basically where he says that, I will answer what I can, but he still tries to be like, that's Archer's story. He's like, I'll tell you if you want, but I think you want to hear from Archer. And she's like, okay. Thinking in her head, do I, you're fucking right, I want to hear it from Archer. Like, God! Which, granted, I think I would want to do it in the same capacity.
So, after he takes her back, they make amends. Archer shows up in the morning. I don't know why Cody ended up staying the night. Because he was definitely there. Did he stay the night?
Yeah, because they blinked, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, the entire night into the early morning, and they only had, like, 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So, Archer shows up, and he goes, okay, come with me. We're going to go see the guy that tried to kill you.
Yeah. that tried to assassinate you at the movie theater with your friends. And she's like...
He doesn't say that right out, though. He kind of digs into her until she, like, makes him say what they're doing.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So he's just like, we kept him alive for you, but if you don't want to, I'll just go ahead and tell Steelers to end it. And she's like, no. Okay, I'll go with you.
And then they take her to a photo shoot.
Yes. But first, which I find funny, is Cody and MK have sex again, and Cody's like, you want to make him break some shit? And she's like, yes. And, of course, he starts breaking shit and pissed off that, because they're not.
I love Cody during this part because not only is it the break some shit, but he also goes, do you want me to knee him in the balls for you? And she goes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that made me feel a little bit better. And I'm like, yes. So yeah, he tricks her. Well, not really. Archer's like, well, before that, we're going to this. And she's like, no, it's not part of the deal. And he was like, well, it is now if you want to see the motherfucker.
Yeah.
She's like, fine, I guess. And it's like, I don't know. I like this scene, but I also don't like this scene.
Because he's antagonistic.
Yes, it's like, oh, you thought he was kind of cute. Yeah, anyways, so yes, they, go to a photo shoot. And it's basically for a friend's club, and it's like, that's kind of what it says. And he's like, go get your fucking makeup on, change into whatever they want to wear, and we'll do the photo shoot, and then we'll go.
Yes.
And so she's, they do her makeup and hair 20-30 minutes later, and so she's wearing like a...
She's wearing like a corset and like some underwear or something.
Yeah, it's like a see-through kind of like silk negligee, or the corset part and stuff. And she's like, where's the rest of the fucking outfit? And they're like, oh, it's a burlesque club. She's like, oh, that would have been a fucking nice note. Okay. So this kind of stems from the first photo shoot because they got some
good photos of her and Archer.
And that's the friend that owns the club was like, that's perfect because they fuck each other and they like capturing it perfectly on the film and stuff. And which I think is a terrible idea with a stalker that likes to follow your every movement.
Yeah,
but,
and this is where Scott shows up too at this film shoot.
Yeah.
Fucking Scott.
Okay.
And Cody fucking lays him out at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, he straight does. And I personally don't really like how Scott's acting.
No, like this whole time, I was like, I don't like Scott. I don't like Scott at all.
No.
From the very beginning.
Yes, from the very beginning, you're like, something's weird about him. And I think it's...
And also, like, I'm rooting for Steele at this point.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Duh. So I'm like, I don't want Scott anywhere near her.
Yes. And that's probably not a great... But that's something the author really did well is that you don't still know who the stalker is, and she didn't fucking tell him where she was gonna be.
Yes.
And it just kind of feels like stalkerish. So I think that's kind of more of a foreshadowing, like the author wanted to make it seem like
he was the stalker.
He could be, you just don't know yet, but it doesn't really make sense, which obviously he is not. Spoiler, sorry. You'll find out soon enough.
Yes.
So, after the photo shoot, because, Archer has to antagonize her yet again, and, he basically kind of does some, like, BDSM kind of stuff to her, like, kind of chokes her a little bit, and then, she's like a puddle.
She likes Archer, but she don't like Archer.
Yes.
Is the whole
that's kind of, yeah, 100%. So, it's just kind of funny. So they kind of go to a cabin in the woods where they hold this guy, and he's like in this like little fucking sub basement. So they pull it, open it up, and she just like looks down into the darkness and like.
And Cody's like, Seal's down there.
I know. It's like,
okay, I'll go into the basement.
Yeah. And Archer's like, "What are you scared?" And she's like, "Well, no, fuck. I know Archer. I know Max is down there. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm going." And then you find Hank, who's not really he's important, but
he's not important.
He's not important. Yeah, I mean, like you find out that Hank's also the man that stabbed her. And they showed her the knife, which is like an orange-ish red, not just straight red like Archer's.
Yes.
So I can kind of see where she's like, no, fucking Archer stabbed me. Like,
I mean, from the way Archer was acting this whole time,
it's not implausible.
Yes.
Yeah, no, totally.
I don't think Cody and Steele would have done it, but Archer,
no.
yeah.
I mean, I can kind of see, like, she's like, you know, the knife looked like the one Archer had. Like, I can totally see where her head went to. So obviously he's been tortured. Has at least 3-4 broken fingers. I don't know what else. I just know the 3 broken fingers because he breaks a couple of them because, you know, he's like, oh, MK's a whore, you're a slut, oh, you're not giving out, and they want to, you know, so he's antagonizing them and her.
Yeah, and Steele and Cody
are like, no, we ain't having this bullshit.
If you call MK a name of any kind.
Yeah, they're like, you're dead, like, just bide your time. And so, they got all the information from him, and so they're all kind of like, all the 3 boys are like arguing and like, who's gonna kill who? Like, who gets the honors? And, you know.
And then she grabs the gun and she shoots Hank in the head.
And then she just turns around and walks upstairs and.
Like a total badass.
yes, like, fucking commit. And she committed. Like, that was. Obviously, she just killed a person. So, obviously, she's like, okay, alright, I'm about to throw up. Like, she makes it outside to the car. And she's like, I just killed him with fucking cold blood. Like, he deserved it. But, like, I killed him. You know what I mean? Like, that mentality. Because she's like, she's not bad. She's not upset that she killed him. He deserved it. But she's upset that she
did it. Yeah.
But
they were arguing back and forth about
whose honor it is to kill him, you know, fight for her honor and bullshit. And then, of course, my favorite part, you know, she's like, like, I'm about to, like, puke, and Steele's like, I got you, baby. Which, you know, that's how it is. And so Steele kind of takes her back to her apartment.
Because Cody and Archer get the privilege of cleaning up. Because Steele was there all night.
Oh, yeah. And so they kind of stop for food in a drive-thru because, you know, she's kind of covered in blood and he ain't looking the great. I mean, he just tortured someone, so obviously he has some stuff on him. And, so yeah, they go to her apartment and,
this is where she completely forgives Steele.
Yeah, because he basically tells her, you know, this wasn't the first time we met. And he doesn't go into the full story because she kind of kicks him out. Because it's Scott. But basically, I know, fucking Scott.
Ruining everything.
Basically, he kind of tells her that they saw her for the first time about 6 months before her mom passed. And that would have made her 11 at this point.
Yes. And they were 15.
Yes. It was only Archer and Steele. Cody was in Texas at the time. Poor Cody. Which I think is funny. Because, you know, they probably talked about her a lot after they came back. So he's just like, who the fuck is this bitch? I don't have a lot of notes after this. But basically, Scott comes, and so she kicks Steele out. And because Scott's coming over, and he won't take no for an answer, and he's already fucking almost there. So she kicks Steele out. She's like, hey, we'll talk later, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of made up, you know. Thanks for telling me kind of somewhat of the truth. And he's like, I'm committed to, you know, making things right with you.
No, it was Bree that was coming over because...
No, it was Scott. Because he brought the fucking mint chocolate chip ice cream, and she's like, that's fucking gross. But she, like, basically kicks him out because he's, like, being creepy and, I don't know.
Scott. He's being Scott.
So, like, you know, she kicks him out, too. Well, I don't think he even steps foot in the apartment, but she, you know, basically throws him out. And then Bree comes over for kind of, like, a hangout, like, I need some girl time.
Yes.
Like, too many dick energy over here. Like, I need some girl time. And then, I'm not really... What happens before
So, Bree tells her that she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
She had an affair with an older guy who said he was married. And that's why she's being cagey. And she's also in a relationship with Dallas.
Yeah.
Which MK knew about, but she doesn't really care.
Yeah, they really haven't had a chance to, like, catch up and talk, obviously, with everything that's happening. So
they get, like, they make up, they have a good girls' night. Archer kind of does something probably to piss her off. Because that's the first half of this book.
Yeah.
But she's also training with Cass, which is why I love Cass, because he took her on and, like...
He's like, you have some pinup rage. We're gonna work on this, and I'm gonna just punch that bag. I'll give you tips. And, like, his style is different from Cody's, so she kind of likes that.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like, basically tell her what to do, because she's had enough of that bullshit, okay?
And he's protecting her.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Is this when she goes to... No, it's not when she goes to the lawyer, because that's shooting range. It's coming up.
Yeah.
What happens after this? I read these so fast.
I only have where Bree gets
in a car crash.
In the car crash. I don't really have any other notes other than...
Okay.
But I know there's some more stuff that happens.
So, we're gonna skip over some stuff. So, she's in her apartment alone, on the phone with Steele, having some fun times with Steele.
Which we love.
Anyways, and the lights go out.
Oh, yeah. So there's, like, someone takes not a run at her, but whatever the equivalent to.
Yes.
At the Reaper kind of, like, headquarters or apartment complex that have all the other fucking Reapers. I'm not sure why you want to fuck, but anyways.
So, Steele is very frantic because he wants to make sure she's okay. Yeah. Scott shows up again. Because of course he does.
It's just fucking creepy. He gives creepy vibes, like, bro.
So, and Steele tells her he loves her at this point.
Anyways.
So, Steele's frantically trying to go get her. Scott shows up. She's trying to handle it. She's also on the phone with Steele. And all of them come over.
I mean, yeah. You know how it goes.
And they find out that 2 of the Reapers are dead that were on guard. Cass wasn't there at the time. He was at one of Hades' clubs.
I don't think Zane was there either.
No.
Yeah.
Zane's hardly ever there, though.
Yeah. No one knows where they
So, Steele gets there. They make sure the building's okay. They find the 2 Reapers that are dead. They make Scott clean it up with Archer and Cass. Because
he's being creepy. Like, he's just giving not great vibes.
Yes. And then they find out the next morning, I think, or when she takes a shower. I don't know when. That she doesn't have underwear in her drawer.
Yeah.
And that there was a message on the mirror.
It was a distraction to get into there because it was her stalker.
Yeah.
Hey, he's back. He's still there. I guess technically.
It was definitely the next day because she fell asleep and then they had the powwow with Zane and Scott was there and he touched her underwear drawer.
Yeah, so that's where they kind of were like, is he really the fucking...
Yeah.
But the timeline didn't make sense because he was with Archer for that time. Yeah, so it just, the timeline didn't make sense, so they know he's not. But that's the final push for her to move back in, right?
Yeah, and the car wreck with Bree, I think.
Yes. Yeah. But I think it's before that she kind of moves back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, at this point, they're all freaked out and they have, like, watches on her 24/7. Reapers and, Reapers and the boys.
Yeah, and the boys, and they don't hire outside help until the book, yeah.
So, Cody wants her to move back in. She doesn't want to move back in. She's also trying to fuck with Archer still, so she goes to the lawyer.
Yes.
to try to get a divorce. But she doesn't know if there's a prenup or if it violates anything or anything. So Demi kind of helps her. Demi's the lawyer.
Yeah, she kind of looks into it, and I don't think you really find out anything with that regards until the 4th book.
Well, you find a little bit about her family, because she digs into her family stuff as well.
Yeah, her inheritance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Archer gets kicked out because Steele and Cody are done with Archer being an asshole to MK.
They're like, this isn't the right move, man. Stop.
You gotta fix it. And she was just gonna have a night in by herself. She wasn't gonna do anything. Cass was gonna watch over her. She was texting him every 10 minutes with a little thumbs up.
Yeah.
And she texts him that she's going to bed, and she's asleep for like an hour or so or whatever. And she wakes up to a call from Cass. Because Archer's at her door, and Cass tells her this. And then she opens the door, and Archer's drunk. Cass didn't tell her he was drunk.
Yep. Yep.
And he goes, "Oh, did I forget to mention he's drunk?"
Yeah. And she's like, "God."
Yeah. She goes, and then he goes, "Can you handle this?" She goes, "Yeah, I can handle Archer."
It would just have been like a great hurrah if she would just would have kicked him in the nuts. like there's always something, you punch him in his nuts. She actually kicked him in the nuts in like the first book, and it's just like it would have been a great running theme. But sorry, I interjected. Go on.
And then Archer comes to her apartment drunk off his ass and tells her that Cody and Steele kicked him out until he fixes things. To fix things, he has to talk to her.
And he had to give some liquid courage.
Yeah.
Because you've never seen him lose kind of his... We've not seen him drunk before, so...
Yeah. And he has a lot of secrets to spill to her. Mm-hmm. Like, he needs to make a lot of amends up. Mm-hmm. So he comes in, he starts talking to her. Mm-hmm. She actually gets answers from him.
Yes. And I don't think you realize. Yeah.
And then he passes out in her bed. And then she's like, oh, fuck, I guess I'm just going to sleep in the bed with him because he's passed out. And then... I
just would have kicked him off the bed, but, she still kind of likes him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she asks him why he hates her. And he says, "I don't hate you. I hate the fact that I love you. I hate myself for loving you."
And that's
the chapter end.
And you kind of get an insight on Archer.
Yes. And
that you finally know as the reader, okay, you kind of felt like sexually he wanted her. Mm-hmm. But, nothing else. Yes. So it was kind of nice to see the part where you're like, okay, so he is doing it for her protection. He does do things because he wants to protect her and he loves her.
But he just doesn't know how to
show it.
Do that. Yeah. He also can't just go, I bought you.
How do you start that conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's probably the best way that she would have found out. It should have been a better way. But,
see, if he would have told her, he's like, okay, so this came up, and I purchased your contract with your dad to keep you safe.
Yeah, but he just doesn't.
He doesn't tell her that
until the fucking 4th book.
Well, I think he tells her in the 3rd book because they have the car scene.
Kind of, but I feel like it's more elaborated, and he kind of goes into how much he actually bought her for, and she gets a lot more answers to all the questions that she was like, mm-hmm. I can deal with not knowing for now, but
yeah, we're gonna tell me.
Yeah.
So then they go on a drive to get, I don't know even where they were beginning to go, but
I don't remember.
I think a killer shows up in this part. I know they get down. This is the time where Archer gets the booty do on the car. This is a memorable scene. Yes. With Archer. Yeah.
Finally. I mean, there are some things that happen between them that are spicy, but not to the extent.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are 2 spicy scenes in this whole series that I remember. I remembered from 3.
Rereading.
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
This scene, the car scene, was one of them.
Yeah.
Because she was giving him the business and she was pissed because he tried to take back what he said the night before.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, hell no. You're not doing that to me.
Mm-mm.
And then he finally just breaks down and he's like, yes, this is what I meant.
Yeah. And so it's kind of funny to see kind of that side of Archer after getting Dick Archer, basically.
Yes. The whole time. You got it the whole time.
Yes. So it's kind of nice to see a different side of him,
Mm-hmm.
which, is very memorable.
Yes. And this is when she decides that she's going to move back in with the guys.
You're right, yes.
Because she's made amends with Archer in multiple ways on multiple surfaces.
Yes.
Because they go back to one of his houses and they screw all weekend.
Yes. Yep. And he fixed it.
Yeah.
He did exactly what Steele and Cody told him to do.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And she comes back to the house, and this is the sweetest thing, because that was in the second book, where her room wasn't all pink.
Yes, they after she got stabbed, they
redecorated her room for her.
And it was like the perfect room. She's like, the stars, like they had like the pin lights, kind of how like they do in the roof of the cars, and so it makes it seem like she's not inside a small.
Yeah,
it's not a small room, but you know what I mean.
It's not a small house.
No,
they've got an indoor pool. They've got home
gym. Yeah, home gym. Like it ain't small by no means. So
they've got
should be
4 rooms.
But yeah, it was so sweet because they changed the entire room, and then she's like, fuck them, it's perfect. Like, I love it. They know me better than I thought.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Which is like kind of sweet. But yeah, that happens in the second book.
So she comes back to the house, and then they start, I don't know, they start getting along for a little bit. And they have the fight scene. Archer has a fight, and she said she wasn't going to give him any unless he won.
Yeah. Which of course makes him, win. And is that where kind of Bree takes place then? Because that's towards the end of the book.
Yeah. Well, the fight scene, and then she has the hoodie that says the Archer, and then he writes on it.
Yes. She's wearing an Archer shirt, by the way. He's not my favorite.
He's not my favorite.
I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Anyways, sorry.
And then he obviously wins the fight, and there's obviously they
spices.
see the billboard.
Oh yeah, with the photo shoot.
Yes.
Yes, and she's like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
And the photographer also gives her some shoots of all 4 of them together when they were doing it.
Yes.
Which was kind of like, she's like, because, it's still, she's still kind of like, how is this going to work dynamic-wise between...
And she hasn't told any of the guys that she loves them,
Yeah.
even though she knows she loves them.
Yeah.
And Steele's already said it. I think Cody might have already said it to this point.
Yeah.
Did he have his penguin conversation with her? Where he says that she's his penguin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah. I was more worried about the main plot lines.
It was sweet. So
It was super sweet.
Oh.
Yes, it was. They all have kind of like their sweet moments.
See, I like Cody, but I don't like Cody as much as I like Steele.
Yes, no, I mean, I think Cody gives them a great dynamic between.
Yes.
Like, Archer's kind of the dick and the alpha, and then Cody's kind of like the golden
retriever
retriever and the joker, and Steele's like, I'll do anything for you, baby.
Yeah. And Steele's kind of like more laid back, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very laid back, but
he has to do all the dirty work.
Yeah. Which...
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably because, the other two are high maintenance.
Yes. And then something happens when they're at the hotel after the billboard. I forget what it is.
Is it important?
It is important because it's something with her stalker.
Oh. Another Barbie. I don't
know, but he gets them from the hotel back somewhere. I forget what actually happened. And Steele's doing dirty work again.
Always. If he's not with MK, he's doing something on Archer's orders, basically. Yes. So then this is kind of where Bree and MK drive separately, and the guys are following behind. They're going somewhere. And this is where Bree and MK get T-boned. And it's more on Bree's side, intentionally, obviously, because...
But I don't think this one was intentional. I think this one was the killer, because they were going to kill her.
Oh, yeah. Her. Yeah, you're right.
She's got some killers, and she got a stalker.
It's hard to kind of figure out, because it's not specifically said, like, when's it the stalker, when's it the assassin people versus the gang members. Like, it's hard. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I just thought it was more intentional because Bree's the only one that really got injured.
Yes. And then Bree's in the hospital, and they find out that she's pregnant.
Yes.
And it's Dallas's baby. No. Yeah.
No, I thought it was, what's his name's?
No. It's her dude's, it's Dallas's
Woo!
baby. This time. The first time it was the other dude.
Okay. I was like, I swear I remember
She's
that.
been pregnant twice.
Oh,
in these
okay.
books.
Okay.
And then
she's in the hospital for the rest of the third book and the majority of the fourth book.
Yes,
she's that fucked up. Like, I think she had to have multiple surgeries,
and they put her on bed rest too.
Yeah, bed rest just because of the baby. Obviously, she went through a very traumatic experience. They want to make sure the baby's fine. So she's like not out of commission, but she's still talked about in the book. Like, she said those in visitor and stuff.
And then they go back to the house. Mm-hmm. Jace is there, naked. In their dining room.
Yeah. He did some stuff on Archer's bed.
And Madison Kate is drugged up because at this point she was in a car wreck. So she was pain pills.
Yeah, like she had whiplash, and so they gave her some painkillers, and she just like zonked out kind of thing.
Yes. And then after this crash is the second sex scene I remember, because it's the swimming pool scene.
Oh yes.
With Steele and his Jacob's ladder with 8 rungs. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah, we're just leaving it at that. I have some thoughts, but it's fine. Actually I do want to talk about this. So why is it, like, most, like, spicier books, there's always some dick piercings? Like, I don't, like, there are not that many guys, right, that have that like,
no, I just think it's more of,
like,
ribbed for her pleasure.
Yes, but I'm just like, there ain't no fucking way. I'm sorry, there is no way that all these guys, like, I don't feel like it's, like, realistic. Like, I don't feel like a lot of guys are like, yeah, I got a dick piercing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can tell, like, I don't know any women that have any vagina piercings. Like, it's a thing, but I'm like, where's everyone getting these things? I don't understand.
And I honestly thought this scene happened in the 4th book. I was like, oh, this happened after the cliffhanger in this book.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right.
But no, it's in the 3rd book.
Yep.
And
do we want to talk about how it ends? Because we're there, right?
Yes. So, first of all, she didn't know they had a pool. This is a side note. Back to the pool scene. She didn't know they had a pool. That's how big this house is.
I wish I had that problem. I wish I was like, oh, I had this room I didn't know I had about. Oh, yeah, no, I have this pool? Oh, okay.
Okay. So.
Yes, I'm upset.
Scott shows up at their house. And she's
Scott.
By herself. Steele's off doing something. Taking care of bodies, probably.
Yeah, doing the business.
Archer and Cody are working out with music really loud. They've taught her how to shoot from this point.
And she has various self-defense, because she learned some from, obviously, Cass, Cody, and Steele kind of taught her some shit.
He taught her how to break some fingers and torture people.
Which I love. I'm like, it is great knowledge. Like, yeah.
He's like, okay, self-defense, breaking fingers.
Yes, like, and she uses it too.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, yes, I need this. Like, ooh, where do I get a Steele?
Yeah.
Anyways. Is this where Scott...
He basically calls her a slut. And he tries to...
She was fucking... She set boundaries with this motherfucker. I am not interested. I don't know how many times... I mean, what does she have to do?
Yeah.
Cut off her boob or something? Like, here you go! Like, that shit pisses me off. Yes. I hate it when you set very clear boundaries and they're still like, well, I still want to protect you, so let me still be your fake boyfriend. And she's like, well, we're fucking alone. Stop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
she's
can
like,
you not take a fucking hit?
Yeah, and at this point, like, in the book, she's already with all 3 of the guys.
Yes.
All 3 of the guys are her boyfriend.
Yes.
And husband.
Yes. Yeah. Husband and boyfriend.
One husband, 2 boyfriends.
It's a harem, 100%. Come on.
So, she doesn't need a fake boyfriend. They are protecting her. Mm-hmm. Sometimes better than others. The Bree situation was a misjudgment, but they didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, even if she would have been in this, I mean, a bigger car, because I don't remember what Bree drives, but they probably would have been a little bit more secure, but can't dwell on the past.
Regardless.
Yes, sorry.
He still is trying to protect her against the guys, and she doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where she thinks that he is her stalker, because Bree didn't give him her location.
Right. He kind of just hacked his way in, which is creepy.
There's the panty incident.
Yeah.
Where his print was there, and then she's still on the fence. She's like, still, he's not.
Yeah, like, some things aren't lining up, but at the same time, like, you just give me the creeps. Like,
yeah, no. She's avoiding him.
Yeah.
But then he shows up because he's fucking Scott.
Yeah.
And he can't take a hint. Mm-hmm, like, This is why I said he was a nice guy, because he's like, oh, I want to do all this stuff for you, but you have to fuck me.
Yeah.
And then he comes on to her. And she's like, no, I don't want this. I told you multiple times, I don't want this. And then he still wouldn't take a hint.
Yeah.
So she shot him. Because she thought he was her stalker.
100% agree.
Like,
agree.
And then Cody and Archer come running to save her. Yeah. After she'd already shot him.
Yeah. Like, come on, motherfucker. Where were you at?
I don't know where Steele is at this point.
Yeah. No.
He was there. But he gets in the car with them, so I don't know.
Yeah, he might have been in his room, because he picked up a piano again, making music, because MK is his muse.
Yes.
Because he stopped after his twin sister died. So he kind of took a break from music, kind of lost his will to make music. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where he was. Yeah.
So they all get into a nondescript car and take Scott's body to clean him up, because they ask if she wants to go with them, and she does. I don't know why. Just because she wants to take care of it, because she shot him.
Yeah, probably. And I mean, I think this is where they get something from the stalker saying,
no.
Or is that after?
That's after. Okay. So they got a Steele. They got Scott, not Steele.
Yeah, sorry. Scott.
Taken care of. They take him to the pig farm. They feed him to the pigs. That's how they dispose of his body.
Great. And then methods, I agree.
They're taking the rug that was in there and some other recyclable stuff. That couldn't be eaten by the pigs.
Yeah.
To recycling. Okay, and then Madison Kate sees this light. She keeps seeing this light off in the distance. It hurts still to this very day, the second time I read it. Okay, and then she gets a video of her killing Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And then the stalker comes back and he says, I never miss. While there's still this light going on. And then Steele gets shot.
And that's where the book ends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And she's,
by the way.
she's freaking out. And it ends with, I never miss. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
I was in full panic mode. I was like, I need the fourth book. I need it.
And this is why when I told you the first time to have the fourth book queued up, you needed it right then.
I did, and I already,
like,
I downloaded all 4 of those fuckers. When you said that, I was like, oh God, she's telling me something. And I'm like, download.
It's like, I cannot tell you what happens because it is a damn good cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a great cliffhanger, but
you need the next book. If I had to wait after this book,
I would have been pissed. I would have been like, okay, that was a great series, moving on. Like I would have been pissed.
Or if I thought it was a trilogy.
Yeah, I'm so glad the fourth book was already out because I don't think I could have waited. I
didn't wait that day. I was like, no.
I
had it.
I was like, I have to know he's okay.
I was like,
oh my God.
I have to know right now. Right now, you best tell me. And then, fourth book. We're going to go to the fourth book because you need to know this before we go to the bonus chapter. The bonus chapter in this book's not that important. Even though it is Steele.
That's important bullshit.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
So, the first chapter in Kate is from Steele's perspective. But it's not from Steele's perspective right after he got shot. It's from Steele's perspective when they first meet Madison Kate. So you don't know until halfway through that chapter. Well, not even halfway through that chapter. Because that chapter also gives you present day where he's dying. And Madison Kate is
you can't leave me. Like, I'm just like, I'm feeling your pain, girl. Like, I'm feeling it.
She's like, you can't die. I haven't told you I loved you. Like, I was like, same Steele, we haven't told you.
Like, oh. Like, that was nerve-wracking. Because it opens up 8 years ago when they met as Madison MK at 11, and I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't need to this. Like, I wanted to skip through
no,
it.
Go now.
Like, and then it goes back to present day where he's like
dying.
And I'm just
he's in and out of it. And you hear Madison Kate going, and you hear Archer like mad and saying you can't fucking die, and I'm like, not Steele.
No, I can't. Like, anyone but him.
It could have been it could have been Cody or Archer, and it wouldn't have had the same effect for me.
No,
it
100%. Cody probably would have been a little up there. Like, if it had happened to him,
yes.
I'd be like, oh. Like, but Archer would have been like, that's totally fine. Fuck that motherfucker. Like, you just don't make that emotional connection with Archer until the fourth book.
Yes.
Which is like almost 600 pages, by the way.
Yeah. And
a lot of shit fucking happens.
And I read this today.
Pretty much. Well, rereads are usually easier anyways, because you kind of know what's happening, and
I was 150 pages in, and I had to read the rest of it.
Damn, girl, I was at least like...
I was crunch time.
No. You were like, you were like me this time, which...
Yes.
I was kind of... I mean, I'm not happy about, but I was just like, thank God it's not me this time.
Okay, we can go into the bonus chapter now.
Okay, the bonus chapter... After the end of the third book is Steele's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I would have freaking...
So...
it's just frustrating because I feel like this bonus chapter should have been, like, in the book. Like, because it would have added a lot more to... I don't know. It just would have had more impact.
Yes.
And so basically, it's him getting the piercings because he feels like he deserves them, and I'm just like, aww.
Yeah. And then it also tells you that Archer found her in Aspen. Archer went to Aspen.
Yes, to protect her. Like, I felt like this needed to be in the book. Like, I wish it was, like...
So...
Because it's supposed to take place, like, in the third book, 1 to 2 chapters into it.
Yeah,
it's supposed from like, how it says in the bonus chapter.
Yes.
And I'm just like, God, I fucking wish that, like...
Yeah.
I mean, I get why it's a bonus chapter. Obviously, it wasn't needed for the storyline, but I'm just like, God damn, that would have been great.
I mean, it is important, but it's not as important as finding out if Steele is dead or not.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I'm like, I need to know.
Yes.
I don't need sleep, I need answers.
Yeah. And I feel like it's still kind of, like, glossed over.
Well, okay, you get that traumatic first chapter.
Yeah.
Where Steele is dying, and Madison Kate's freaking out, and hasn't told him that she loved him.
Yeah.
And then it goes to, I don't know how many, like a week or so later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, I felt like she minimized it, and I'm just like...
But anyways, it goes to MK wedding dress shopping.
Yes! Like, I don't fucking care about
and
this
she's
shit.
on the phone with Bree.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, is Steele fucking dead? Or, like...
Yeah.
I need to know. I need to know this.
Yeah. So it's kind of, Archer has this great plan of this faux wedding, wedding day. He said he thinks it would be a great smoke screen, or, yeah.
It'll lure her killer out.
Killer / stalker / whoever the fuck wants her dead. And let's be real at this point. Just bring it on. And, yeah, I'm just like, I don't care about this wedding dress. I don't give a shit. Like, come on.
Like, I don't care about this wedding at this point.
No, I don't.
And then
I really don't.
Bree said they pick out her wedding dress, and Bree goes, I have a surprise for you since I couldn't be there. And then that's when Steele walks in, and he's fine. I don't know. I was like,
just the heartbreak I felt.
I was like, yes, Steele's back.
Yes. Which, I mean, like, a week, like, you can't heal that fast from a fucking chest wound.
I don't know how long it was.
I know, but...
It was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently Steele had been hanging out with Bree.
Yeah. They were watching...
reality TV.
Yeah, I was going to say something reality TV-wise, and... Which I'm just like, Steele's the perfect guy. He'd watch trash TV with me. Like, come on.
I don't think he wanted to. I just don't think he had an option.
No, he had an option, but no.
But Steele had checked himself out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Because he's better, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to be around her, vice versa.
Yes.
And this is what's funny. Like, so Cody and Steele are like, that motherfucker gets to marry you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yes, more tension. It's funny.
It is.
There's so much stuff that happens. I just kind of took like the straight major plot lines.
Yes. And we're gonna have to do with this because we're 2 hours and
yes. So you want to just go to Samuel? Because that's kind of the main plot line.
Yeah.
Obviously that's a lot of spice, a lot of...
There was a lot more spice in this
100%
in Kate than there was in any of the other books.
Yes, yeah. So, we're just kind of gonna gloss over that, because if you want to read it. Because we enjoyed it, so.
I like a spicy book, so.
Oh, yes. And it's funny because everyone, basically makes it seem like there are tons of spice. There is, like, third book, fourth book-ish.
Yes.
Is, like, the main ones where it's, like...
But I feel like that's with most Waichus, because you gotta know...
Yeah, you have to, like...
You have to build up
to that. You're right, mostly. Yeah.
Of the series that I've read, there's some that's just, like, straight smut.
Yeah. Which those are fine, too.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. So I'm kind of just going to go into more of the plot lines, the major plot lines, because this book is...
There's a lot.
So
a lot of people try to die. Do you want to do some of her family stuff?
Yeah.
First,
if you want to.
So In the third and fourth book, they find out that her mom hid
yeah.
stuff. That her mom has a brother. That's important.
Twin brother.
And that she is an heiress to a diamond mine, but they're killing off
diamond industry.
Yeah, they're killing off all of the people that
blood
would
heirs.
Yes,
yeah, blood heirs.
Which is why she has killers after her.
Which is kind of why her mother died as well.
Yes, her mom, her grandma. They think her mom's brother, her twin brother, is dead.
The only one that they think is still alive is her aunt, because it's her uncle by not blood.
Well, her aunt died too, but her uncle was married to her aunt, so that's why he's the CEO.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot happens.
Okay. And then,
like, it's a huge inheritance, and I don't even think Samuel knew.
Yes. And then, Samuel is also broke, and he's going to come back for the wedding.
Yes. And that's kind of where it starts taking off. Once we get to this is more of, it's fast paced, and a lot of shit happens.
I do want to touch on the tattoos, though, because this is...
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So before the wedding, she goes and she takes a trip with Cass. She's gone all day. This is actually before Samuel's dinner, so this is perfect.
Okay, perfect.
And she goes and she doesn't tell the boys what she's doing because it's going to be a surprise for the wedding.
Yes.
Come to find out, she's got 3 tattoos. She's got
I love
an
that.
an arrow for Archer. That's why I said error.
Error. It's error in our brain at the moment, okay, guys?
And then she got a penguin for Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got a music note going into a, like, heart rhythm for Steel. It's just cute, and I just wanted to point that out.
Oh yes, no, I love that. Yes, I love a great tattoo together, commemorate something.
Yes, and this whole first half of the book, she's struggling with saying "I love you" to all the guys, which she finally does. She said it to Steel the very beginning of the book because he almost died.
Yes, like, and then obviously Cody next,
and then she tells Cody next that he's her penguin. And then Archer after that.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
because Archer.
Anyways. So Archer kind of sets up a nice dinner. Like, he rents out the entire fucking restaurant. Rich people, money, you know.
Yes.
And Samuel, I think
Cherry's there for a little bit.
And so basically he's like, Archer tells her before, the thing, he's like, or before the dinner, he's like, maybe you need to exact your pound of flesh kind of thing. And so that's when they go to the thing, and it's, that's when you realize, like, the plastic is everywhere? Or is that after Cherry leaves?
I think that's after she leaves, because they go to a separate room.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they go to the separate room that's full of plastic, and she does exactly that. She takes a fucking pound off of his leg.
Yes.
With, guess what, her pretty purple name. And she's like, this is about a pound. Like, girl, like, oh, fuck off. And then this is kind of where she finds out that Samuel isn't her biological father.
Yes.
That he's had been fixed when he was married to her mom, and he just kind of kept that under wraps. She
also finds out that her mom's second pregnancy, because she was pregnant when she died, that pregnancy was a result of rape.
Yes. Yeah. That's not cute. I'm like, we're out there yet. Yes. And that she got a brawl from the stalker, and she didn't really realize the significance of it until he says that she was raped, and he didn't believe her because, she's a slut, kind of slut shaming.
Yes.
Like, that's so old school, man. Come on. Anyways, but so then she finds out the significance of, like, she wasn't lying kind of thing, and it's just like, I feel so bad. Anyways, so then she finally just
They kill him. They kill her father.
Yeah. Which, good for them. Good for them. I mean, they were kind of bankrolling all the trips and stuff anyways, and basically told Cherry, like, hey, Archer's like, Cherry, you should move on. You want to find a different guy. And she's like, okay.
Yeah, because she goes, Samuel's broke. So,
yeah. She's like, okay, I'm done. Bye. Like, she's a gold digger, and she's proud of that fact, and I don't blame her. That's what she likes, and they allow it. That's on them.
And then the next day is the wedding day.
Yes. And this was, they literally have, like, plan A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Like, all the way to fucking Z. And they have it all planned out, and they kind of have some of the gangs kind of help as well, because they thought they
have the Timberwolves help, and then they have a security team,
like mercenaries.
Special forces.
Yeah.
Which there is another series by her, and I haven't read anything about that, and I don't have it.
Seventh Circle. No,
that's Hades. The Guild series, which I think is them.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know for sure.
Okay. That would be interesting, because I really did like
because it does take place in Shadow Grove as well.
Okay. I gotcha. I know she has a ton of books.
Yes.
Yeah. So, obviously, they're like, go to Plan C, and she's like, yeah,
like she's out of the church, and then
yeah, and she gets some shots off of, and then
but mainly it's Cody, Archer, and Steele that are taking care of everybody. But Cody takes her away from the church because the church blows up,
like it does, and every,
yeah. And then she wants to make sure the guys are okay. She wants to make sure that Archer and Steele are fine, that nobody got shot. Because they go back to
a hotel.
No, they go to one of Hades' clubs.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's with Cody.
Yeah.
At that point. And then
for
Cody's
protection.
like, yeah, they're fine. They're all alive. They're alive.
And she's like,
she goes, that's fishy.
Yeah. Like, she knows.
She goes, who's hurt? She goes, basically, and Cody goes, Archer got shot, and she goes, what?
Which is hilarious.
Come to find out that Steele shot Archer.
It was only a graze. He's being a baby. And then, of course, like, Archer's like, no, man, you could have fucking shot me, and, or you could have killed me, and, MK's like, yeah, you could have killed him. Like, I kind of care for him now, so that's not allowed. So it's just kind of like, it was so funny. Because it's literally like a graze on his arm, so it's not even a major vital organ, or, but he's like, she's like, are you still gonna do your fight next week? And he's like, well, yeah, it was only a graze. And she's like, no, you got shot. Like, she's kind of concerned at this point,
I just think it was funny that she texts from Cody's phone, and it goes, Cody Jones, Sunshine, you got shot.
Yeah. And of course, everyone, in the group chat, they're like, oh, shit, that's okay. Like, how do I minimize this a little bit? And of course, she's not mad she's kind of mad at Steele, but she's like,
She saved his life. He saved Archer's life.
He's like, MK, would you rather him got stabbed in the kidney or a graze? She's like, okay.
She's like, stop shooting people.
Yeah, like, which, obviously is funny. But then kind of 3 days after that, nope, I'm lying to you.
They go
3 days. No.
Somehow Archer and her go back to
a hotel after that, yeah. And Cody and Steele kind of get called away.
Yes.
And of course the hotel's on fire, and they're like, hey, it's false alarm, right? And it was not false alarm, the hotel was on fire. So they kind of like go out, and
they get tranquilized. First of all, it says Archer got hit in the chest, and that was the end of the damn chapter.
I was so pissed. I was like, oh my god, did he get shot in the chest? Like, that's my first thought.
But also, Archer was like, I'm going to put this gift that Steele got you on you before we go.
Yes, which was a tracker necklace. Yeah. Which, good thought on him, by the way. Like, duh. So Zane takes MK.
Yes.
He's an opportunist, like we said earlier. And he's also high as fuck during this, which, but then that's where you kind of find out that all the assassins and all the killers they were hired by her uncle, which is not her blood uncle.
Yes.
It's,
the one that runs the company.
The company.
The Diamond Company.
Because he didn't know about her until Riot Night.
Yes.
So that's it kind of comes all together where you kind of figure out, like, oh, he's the one that put out the hit the first time, and then she was sent away and he didn't have any other information on her, and then she comes back, and then some things fall in line, and then
shit goes down. The boys show up.
Yeah.
And her uncle, the CEO, I forget what his name is. It doesn't matter.
I know his name. It's Carl Kruger.
Okay. Well, he grabs MK.
KK. Which I just thought was funny. He was like, that's straight villain name. Anyway, sorry, go on.
And she sees Steele in the distance, and she knows he's got a gun. Everything's going to be fine. Steele is an amazing shot.
She's like, mouths it to him, because obviously it's a sniper, and she's like, I trust you. Do it. And Steele needs to stop trying.
To be fair to Steele,
yes, I know,
he saw an opportunity. It was a little graze. He knew it was gonna happen. And she knew it was gonna happen too.
I know. She was like, it's gonna happen, but she wanted her uncle dead. She wanted that threat gone.
Well, she didn't want to be taken on a helicopter either.
Mm-hmm.
So Steele shoots her uncle, and he grazes her in the head.
Which head wounds bleed like a motherfucker.
Yes,
anyways. So of course,
Archer's pissed.
Archer's pissed. Cody's kind of like, bro. And so she's like, no, I told him to fucking do it. Stop. Calm down, guys. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Not really, but it's fine. Because she was like, yes, I wanted,
And they kill Zane at this point, and a bunch of the Reapers. So Cass is now the head of the Reapers.
Yeah.
Yay!
Because Archer was not going to let this slide with, him taking MK. Like, no. So Cass gets promoted. Which, we love Cass. And then 3 days later, guess who comes knocking?
Her stalker.
And
he gasses
the whole fucking house.
And
by the way, they have a couple
accesses to a panic room.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, is it just
access?
Oh, I was like, man, they have fucking panic rooms out the ass. Like, what is this bullshit? I want rich people money.
Yes. So
anyway, sorry.
While this all goes down, Steele tries to get her to the panic room.
Mm-hmm. And of course, with the gas, they're all like woozy, like,
And then she gets to the panic room. She barely gets to the panic room. And
only her, by the way. She's the only one in the panic room.
And then her stalker shows up, and he's like, let me in. I'm going to get you. Let me in, or there's going to be consequences. Mm-hmm. And then she turns cameras on in the panic room, because they have cameras.
Of course, rich people.
Yes. And she sees him go through the house to Archer. And he hits Archer over the head with a dumbbell, because they have a personal gym.
Yeah, why not,
And he takes Archer down to the panic room, and he goes, you're either going to let me in,
or I'm going to
kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you don't let me in after I kill him, I'm going to go and get the other
everyone
two.
else. And she's like, well, she's playing tough. She's like, well, if you're going to kill him already, why would I leave? And he's like, I might not kill him then. Like, you won't find out unless you leave.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, we'll just start with Archer. Count to 5. And he's like, literally on 5. And she's like, no! Like, I'm coming out. It's fine. And, of course, he kind of drags her off. Yep. And he has is it a helicopter? Or
he's going to take her away. And she's freaking out because she doesn't want to be taken by her stalker, obviously, because he's going to kill her. Mm-hmm.
Or
or use her as a sex slave, whatever. Not good things.
Yeah, we're still really not sure exactly what he wanted, but he's like, I can protect you better than they can. You've already seen how bad they can take care of you and protect you, and I'm like, oh, he ain't wrong, but still.
The guys show up. I think Steele shoots him again. Because they have guns out the ass, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think she kind of has one, too. Like, I mean, some shit happens. And this is what... I was kind of let down on the stalker reveal, to be honest with you. Because it just didn't make any sense. Because you really didn't know... Like, it wasn't...
Who he was.
Who he was. And she's like... Says the name, and we're like, who?
I wish it would have been James. The gardener that ended up being her biological father.
Yeah.
Because he was through, at least in the second book, he was in it throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just mentioned, not like the main character.
Yeah, no, I was just really let down with the stalker reveal because it's like, the character wasn't even introduced. Like, he was introduced, but no names were given. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, who?
Yeah.
Like, is this supposed to mean something to me? And I'm like, did I miss something when I read this? That's what I thought, but...
No, I think the problem is that she was trying to wrap up everything. Like, you have Stalker and she has Killers, so she has to wrap up everything.
That's kind of how I felt about it.
Give spice, all the spice.
Yeah.
And allude to...
I think it was...
other books.
Yeah, like, there should have probably been a fifth book, or at least broken up.
So I think what would have helped is if they would have got rid of the either the stalker or the uncle in the third book,
and then
went to the stalker.
Yeah, that was really disappointing to me. It was a letdown. But obviously, the stalker's wearing a mask, and she's like, "Well, who are you?" Mm-hmm. You know, or she finally gets it off in the struggle, and she's like, "David?" And we're like,
who's David?
Who the fuck is this guy? Because I'm like looking through. I'm like,
he was mentioned like maybe twice,
maybe, and I don't even like. I reread them. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking for this name, and I still didn't find it.
Yeah,
and that's what pissed me off because I was like, okay, well, it made sense if he was mentioned maybe earlier in the book. I felt like I would have tied that together, but he wasn't, and I'm like, I have no emotional connection to who this guy is. Like, what the fuck? Am I supposed to know who this is? Like, because she's like, David? And I'm like, when did you meet David? Like, who is David? Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Well, that is the failing on this series.
Yes.
I love this series, but it's not high literature. It's not like highbrow, like there's clues and everything.
Yeah.
But it's a day at a time.
There's not a lot of, like, foreshadowing for that part. It's more of just the secrets and everything like that. Mm-hmm. That was the major letdown for me, was just like the reveal, and we're like, okay, what's guy? David. Yeah, okay.
And then David ends up being her mother's twin brother.
Deacon, yeah. Which they thought that he died years ago because, you know, they were killing off the entire family because they wanted the money.
Yes.
And then it was like, this is where it got creepy. So the whole stalker who stalked her mom was Deacon, and who raped her mom, it was Deacon. Who was the unborn child that her mom died with was Deacon's child. And we're just like, you find this out when she's like, who are you really? Because she's like, there's something wrong. And then he whispers because, you know, the guy's killed him, and she's like, no, he needs to suffer. I need answers. And then he says Deacon, and then she puts it like,
because they didn't look into Deacon because he was dead.
But she knew the name, and that's when you find out a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, whoa.
And then you find out that the guy that Bree was seeing was Deacon.
David, yes. Deacon, and she had gotten pregnant by him, and he freaked out because that's not part of his plan.
Yes.
Because he only got with her to
get to Madison
to MK, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm like, I didn't even like know this. This is all afterwards when she like puts it together, and she talks to Bree, and she's like, who was he? And she doesn't tell them.
Yeah,
I don't think she tells them. And
she says that he was a married guy, and I think she mentions his name, but maybe not. Because they go to the hospital and they find the photo
does, because it kind of pulls it together, and then they find his house and some shit with that.
Yeah.
And that she takes over kind of the industry, and the boys buy her like her dream home, and I'm just like, fuck my life, I need some rich guys in my life here. No, and then it kind of ends with, I mean, they have a house party, and you know, have all the people that support, and then you find out, like Rachel mentioned earlier, that James, the groundskeeper, was actually MK's biological father.
Yeah.
Which, man, this, like, it takes a turn, like...
Yeah. There was a lot in Kate, and I think it kind of fell apart because of how much in there, and how,
then she had
to tie up everything.
She had to explain too much about David and the backstory with Bree, and I'm just like, why didn't you do this in the book to tie that together better?
Yes.
Like, you could have mentioned David, you could have mentioned the caginess, but she didn't until after he died. And I'm just like, some shit, I needed this context two books ago at least.
Yes.
To kind of set up that, but I didn't get that, and that was really frustrating because I felt like it was rushed. Like, this all happened in, like, the last 20% of the book. Like, after they killed it.
It was like 60% in is when the wedding happened.
Yeah, so, like, all this happened in, like, the last... And, of course, the most in the beginning of the book is the spiciness and whatnot. And then, so the book kind of ends with Archer being a dick, kind of how he can't express his feelings, so he's like, here, Madison Kate. And she's like, what is this? And it's divorce papers. And he's like, you know... I wanted to try to make things right.
Yeah.
I married you unwillingly, and you're underage. And he's like, and she's like, so you don't want... And then she comes and gets himself out. And I'm like, bro, you are doing this the wrong way. And then he's like, or you can have this paperwork. And it's paperwork for the delusion of the prenup agreement. Yes. Basically saying he gets her inheritance when, you know... she comes of age, and he's like, I want you.
Yeah.
And that's better. You should have started with that. But yeah, he basically was like, I just want you. And he's like, we'll figure out, you know,
everything
else. And that's kind of, well, it ends with...
And then they go, oh, we want to introduce you to Hades. And then she comes up, and that's the end of the book. You don't even know if it's a she or not. Spoiler, it's a she.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I knew that because of the Hades series.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I don't want to do any kind of spoilers to the Hades series, so we'll just not, you know, mention it. But it does, you know, basically tell you who Hades is.
And there's also a 5th, like, story. It's like a novella for Madison Kate called Vault. But you have to read the Hades series first.
For it to make sense, yeah.
And that's why I didn't bring up that when you were first reading these, because I haven't read...
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't read any of the other, any of her other series and whatnot, so are you ready to go into the rating?
Yes.
And try to close this up. Sorry, it's been a long episode, guys. There was a lot to cover. So, go for it.
So, do you want to do individual by book, or...
I only did together, but...
So, overall, this is a 5-star read for me. Okay. Because, like I said, it's not highbrow literature.
Right.
But it's a fucking fun time. And I fucking loved, like, the ride that this took me on.
Yes, but besides the end of the 4th book, yeah. I do have to kind of say, rereading them, I didn't like them. Again. I was kind of... Of course, I read them 2-3 months ago, and it's still kind of fresh, so I kind of already knew the backstory.
Yeah.
Usually I like to have some more time in between before I reread them, because I fancy on the details.
Yes.
So rereading them, again, I'm just like, fucking Archer is a dick, and I'm like, I already know.
I was like, So with this reread, I was like, okay, well, maybe I will see better from Archer's perspective. But no, he's just a dick.
No, and that's, it really kind of put a damper on it, me rereading it again. But I just think it was because I read it in February of this year. It was a little too fresh in my mind. So I think that's, and I kind of, rereadable, it would have to be a little bit more time for me to be, like, enjoyable again.
Yeah.
Of course, the sex scenes were the sex scenes, you know, like, they were great. But when I first read them, I gave all of them 4 stars each. Rereading them again, I gave them a 3.5, just because it was more of, I was frustrated because I already knew what happened, and I'm like, you're not getting there fast enough. And I like the build up to, like, the hate part, and I like the first book a little bit better this time around, just because, like, you know, I was like, I kind of understand more, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, when I was rereading them, I'm like, I don't really like these not anymore, but I was like, man,
It was too soon.
It was too soon. Yeah. So that was my bad. But I still do really enjoy them. So that's why I still gave it a 3.5 overall, because I did, in February, really like these books. So I was like, this is me. It was too soon. I should have, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't think, once I started reading the second book, I'm just like, oh, shoot. I was like, this is going to be an issue for me. Because I was like, and that was my only
is Archer.
Yeah. It was just Archer being Archer. So, but, a spice level, what did you rate it?
So, the first book is going to be a 2, is how I feel. Because you get you get some spicy scenes with each of the guys, and then you get that one definite spicy scene with Steel.
Yeah.
And then progressively it gets spicier.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say Kate is like a 4 or a 5 on the spice.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, because I don't do the spicy ratings when I do my scrapbooking, so I only did it as a collective, and I gave them all collectively a 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
It's, you kind of have a little bit of everything, but it's more not kinky, so that's why I didn't rate it as high. I feel like if it was a little bit kinkier, like, I know they kind of went into the BDSM stuff, and, you know, how she likes to get punished, that, and of course, like, there was, like, one food sex scene, so I felt like you kind of got a little bit of everything, but it wasn't, like, the kinkiest spice. Yeah.
It's the amount of spice goes up with each of them. It's going to be this about the same, like,
it's, I don't want to say vanilla.
It's not
sex,
vanilla, but
it's more of it. There wasn't a lot of, like, kinkiness to it. And of course I told him, you know, when I was talking to my husband, and he's like, oh, so did they do this or this? And I'm like, I don't even know what that is, man. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, so it's not spicy. And I'm like, it is, but it's not. So I was like, okay, maybe I have to take it back from that perspective, like, because I was like, he threw some names out there, and I was like, you're going to have to explain some of these to me, because I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck that is. And I'm not going to explain them, because I ain't doing that shit. He put some Pokemons in there, and I'm like, what? And I'm just like, no, I'm not
talking about this after.
Yes, okay, we can talk about this after, but I don't feel comfortable talking about it. But that was my only hang up rereading them again. It was too soon for me to enjoy rereading them again.
Yeah, because you already knew everything. And it was fresh, and pretty much.
And of course, I already knew the main plot lines I wanted to talk about, like the stalker. Like, that really pissed me off, because I was just like, oh, okay, David. Yes, like, yeah. I think that's what really pissed me off.
It was kind of a letdown. Of all the books, Kate is probably,
I mean, the spiciest for sure, but but I feel like it ties it all together with all the guys. Like, you kind of figure out what Archer, you know, you kind of the backstory on Archer. So I feel like it breaks that part, but I was just let down with. I felt like her uncle was a better villain, because I'm like, I don't even know David until like 2 minutes ago.
I think it suffered from too much. If she would have had a stalker, just a stalker that was doing all this, fine. Yeah. If she would have had people out to kill her, fine. But
I felt like it was too much. It was a little too much, and then I kind of felt like there towards the end, she just didn't care to write it. She was just explaining it to us then at that point. Yeah. That was my only hang up, really. So.
Yeah. And that's understandable, because this is honestly probably out of all the books my least favorite.
Yeah.
Because of...
It just felt rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. That's why I really like...
Fake is my favorite.
Yeah. I just felt like it had a great kind of balance to it. You had a lot of spice, but you also had a lot of stuff happening in the background. So it gave it a little bit more character.
And you get resolution with all the guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, like, you get Steele in the first book, and then Cody in the second book, and then Archer in the third. So you get all of them in this book.
And then all together in Kate. just letting you know. But yeah, did you want to talk about anything else before? Do you want to maybe go over the next book we're doing?
Yeah, we can go over.
I was hoping you had it here. Yes. So the next book is going to be Annihilation by
Jeff Vandermeer.
Thank you. I knew I was going to butcher that. And we're also going to watch the movie and kind of talk about the comparison between the two.
Yes. And that one will be a shorter episode.
Yes, sorry.
Because this one's 3 hours long, but that's okay.
That's okay. It was about an hour. Well, I mean, about an hour book almost. So
we had a lot to say.
Yes, we had a lot to say, and it was a nice discussion, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And kind of leave your thoughts in the comments.
Also, if you're not following us on Facebook, it's Know Thy Shelves on Facebook. Yes. And like and follow on that.
Yes, and we update, every time the podcast comes out and the video as well. So you kind of have a little bit of both, depending on how you like to enjoy us.
And also, we give you a heads up on which book's coming out that week.
Yes, so you don't have to...
If I remember. I have been shit the past 2 times.
It's fine. I kind of push you and be like, hey, I need this.
Yeah.
Which is, it's fine. I know I'm probably kind of lax on some things too, so no big deal.
I've been in a Madison Tate this past week.
Yes. So we bit a little bit more off than we could chew. But, it was a reread, so I didn't feel like it was too taxing. It was just, there's a lot that happens. Yeah, there's a lot that we wanted to
and that's a 500-page book, so...
Yeah, that was, almost probably more than 1,000 pages.
Yeah, because these two are about 400, this one's 300.
Yeah. So, alright, well, join us next time.
Bye!
Alright, see you later.